Teacher Professional Development and Social Development and Research Foundation, I welcome you all on the first and inaugural session of 10 days faculty development program on the topic Understanding Issues of Research Publication in UGC Care Journal. As you all know that the vision of Council for Teacher Professional Development is let's connect and collaborate to empower teachers. We all know that the research and innovation are the prime indicators of any country's advancement. And being a teacher or teacher educators, it is our responsibility and accountability to contribute towards the research. As we all are aware that the UGC has directed all the universities and colleges in the country to appoint and promote faculty members on the basis of care list of approved journal. The purpose behind is this that to improve the quality of research work instead of quantity. The NEP 2020 has also put a thrust on research component in order to not only compete with other countries, but also march ahead of them. As a result, the culture of research paper writing, article writing, book writing has also increased tremendously. But now the question arises how to write an effective research paper or the research article. So let's continue with the purpose of this FDP, that is understanding issues of research publication in UGC Care Journal. And the topic for the inaugural session or the day one of this FDP is understanding issues of plagiarism. So without taking much of your time, let me take the privilege of introducing our today's chief guest, Professor Gopal Krishna Thakur sir, President of Social Development and Research Foundation. Good morning, sir. Presently, sir is working.
Good morning.
Of School of Education and School of Management in Mahatma Gandhi Antarashtriya Hindi Vishwavidyalaya. Sir is the professor and head Department of Education and the Department of Psychology. He is also a chairperson of School of Board, School of Education, School of Management and the Department of Psychology in Mahatma Gandhi Antarashtriya Hindi Vishwavidyalaya. Sir is also a project head, member of Academic Council, member of IQAC, CELS. Sir is also a member of School Board, School of Education, Northeastern Hill University in Meghalaya. He is also a member of the Faculty of Interdisciplinary Studies, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Maharashtra. Sir is also a member of Board of Studies, Department of Education, Central University of Rajasthan, Ajmer. And the list is the endless. Sir, research area is science education, teacher education, education philosophy, ethnographic studies, and phenomenological studies. Sir has a rich and varied teaching experience of 28 years and the research experience of more than 20 years. Dr. Gopal has been immensely recognized and appreciated for his research work in more than 50 research papers to his credit in reputed journals in India and abroad, and also including his contribution as chapters in edited books. Sir has also presented over 60 research papers in several conferences, seminars, and workshops in India and abroad also, and also delivered 100 plus invited lectures. Sir has also undertaken the research projects, has also written books and other professional engagement. Like sir is a life member of the Indian Association of Teacher Educators, life member of All India Association of Educational Research. So, sir, we are very blessed to have you with us. Now, I request our chief guest to kindly proceed with the opening session, with the inaugural session. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this not so required elaborated introduction, but yes, yeah, this is now customary to begin with. Anyways, good morning to all of you. And the first thing, my congratulations and best wishes to the organizers of this event, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, Principal, SCPS, Ghaziabad, and Program Director, SDRF. Guest of honor of this session, Professor Satyendra Gupta ji, Dean School of Education, Galgotia University, Professor Tania Gupta ji, Dean School of Education, K.R. Mangalam University, Dr. Jugnu Khattar Bhatia ji, Principal, SDIER, Faridabad. And dear colleagues from all over India, I can see people from even far off places of India have joined this session. So to begin with this, I wish you all the best for this event. Why this need has been felt is, as this Dr. Jugnu Khattar Bhatia has just elaborated on about the issue that nowadays the market, it has taken the shape of a market where it should have been a professional and educational and academic endeavor. Instead of that, it has turned into a market. And the result of this turning this educational context to the market context has culminated into so much of malpractices, different sort of things that obviously are being debated on different forums and are published. And we have seen, we have realized the negative impact of such not so serious research acts, where people are copying things, people are knowingly or sometimes even unknowingly. They don't realize whether what amount of things or what kind of things, what kind of content to be copied or to be, utilized for our own writing purposes. And so whether it should be exactly, definitely it should not be exactly the way it is presented in some other publications. But yes, to present those
is the way to integrate the crux or the gist of such content. It's our writing. So, to some extent, sometimes not aware of, or sometimes they are not sincere enough or not honest enough to uh, think over how to integrate those things, how to draw from others' writings. This plagiarism does not mean taking and copying content from others' writing. There is something which is called self-plagiarism. Self-plagiarism is, and then like I would not to count in numbers or in percentage, but majority of all of us, of people from our community, sometimes overlook this issue that even if we are writing something new, then even from our previous writing, copying something is called plagiarism. So to what extent our own writing content should be integrated in our new writing is a matter of concern, and it should be taken into account. If we are saying, like in our PhD or MPhil dissertation or any project report writing, we say this is our original work. Original work means this has originated, not this has been copied from somewhere. If we say original, means there is a sense of origination. So, I mean, these issues are there. I, on behalf of SDRF, on behalf of Council for Teacher Foundation, and all the organizations and people involved in this program, I welcome our resource person for today's session, Dr. Shweta Rani from Delsin College, Delhi University, and I'm sure that another 50 minutes or 1 hour of session will be truly fruitful for all of us, for the participants. We are taking up every day. This has become now, this is the requirement of our profession now, to create something with the advent of the new phenomena, the new resources we have in hand. Things are easy to access. But at the same time, this poses on us immense responsibility to make it sure that if we are having access to all the contents, then we should be honest, we should be sincere, and we should follow the professional ethics of writing. So what kind of things should be taken into account? I'm sure our resource person of the day, Dr. Shweta, is going to deliberate on, and people would definitely be asking questions, will be having their queries, and that will be facilitated, situated by our resource person. So on behalf of all of us, on our professional community, I again welcome and again congratulate everyone that this community of teachers and teacher educators become a truly thriving community of researchers following the research ethics in its true sense. With that, I conclude. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words. And moving further.
You are mute.
Sir, I think am I audible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words. Moving further, now I would like to introduce our today's resource person, Dr. Shweta Rani. Ma'am is presently working as assistant professor in the Department of Geography at Dayal Singh College, University of Delhi. Ma'am has a rich and varied teaching experience of almost 12 years at University of Delhi, and her keen research interest includes urbanization and development, advanced statistical methods, research methodology, geoinformatics, hydrology and water resource management, and sustainable and regional development. Ma'am possesses an exceptional high and commendable academic research excellence and achievement. She is a recipient of Srimati Draupadi Ishwari Prasad Bhargav Memorial Gold Medal from University of Delhi and awarded Fellowship for Meritorious Students in Science by UGC in 2012. Ma'am also grabbed the prestigious awards for National Level Geographical Youth Conclave for 2 consecutive years in 2019 and 2020. Recently, she has been conferred with the prestigious Nari Shakti Best Woman Academician Award in 2022. Ma'am has immensely recognized and appreciated for her research work with more than 35 research papers to her credit in reputed journals in India and abroad, including her contribution as chapters in edited books also. Ma'am has presented over 50 research papers in several conferences, seminars, and workshops. Ma'am has also delivered more than 30 invited talks at different institutions of higher learning in India and has also filed and published 6 Indian patents to her credit. Ma'am is also a member of several academic committees, geographical bodies, and editorial board. Now, I request our today's resource person, Dr. Shweta Rani, ma'am, to please proceed with the today's session. Dr. Shweta Rani.
A very good morning to all. Am I audible, Dr. Jugnu, properly?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, organizers, and thank you so much, Dr. Jugnu, for this wonderful and noble introduction. And very good morning to the participants. I feel extremely privileged, and I'm very happy to conduct a session and to deliver a lecture in this 10 days national level faculty development program on understanding issues of research publication in UGC CARE journals, which is very important, organized by Council for Teachers Professional Development, North Zone, in collaboration with Social Development and Research Foundation, and to engage a session on very important and relatively very apt theme related to quality publication to journals, and that is understanding issues of plagiarism. I'm also extremely thankful and indebted to our chief guest, Professor Gopal Krishna Thakur, President, Social Development and Research Foundation. Today's guest of honor, Dr. Satyendra Gupta, who is the President, Council for Teachers Professional Development, Dr. Sanjay, and Professor Tanya. So without much ado, let me begin with today's discussion. In today's discussion, I have tried to make the session a bit comprehensible and interesting as far as possible, and especially for the research scholars and academicians who are engaged in research writing. So here I go with some simple and lucid examples. Allow me a moment to share my screen.
Yes, ma'am, you are allowed. You can do.
Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay, perfect. So here we go with today's discussion on understanding the issues of plagiarism. The first thing that I would like to focus on in today's discussion is the concept of plagiarism. Most of us call it plagiarism. Some of us call it plagiarism. So there is, in fact, when we call the word, there is a difference because still it's a very new concept. It has came very relatively new, and according to UGC guidelines after 2018, almost all the research articles should have passed this plagiarism test. So its official definition, according to Merriam-Webster dictionary, to plagiarize, which is a verb, is to use somebody else's words. If you are taking somebody else's word, that is a plagiarism. Their ideas, something is there in their mind, and they have just shared with you. You have penned it down and you have published. So that is their idea, their thoughts, their text in the context of some writing text, some pictorial representation, their materials or their research result. If they are busy in conducting or doing some like hypothesis or conducting some field survey, and they have shared their result with you and you have just published it. So all these things, be it word, be it ideas, thoughts, texts, materials, or their research result, if you are using it, if it is not your own innate, then it is known as plagiarism. It is also to steal or to pass on the information without giving due credit to the original source. That is known as plagiarism. See, this is a pictorial representation very aptly depicting. This is a computer, this is a laptop, and this is taking away the idea. Somebody else without giving due credit to that. And in today's tech-savvy world, everything is available with a single click of the mouse on the laptop. So things have become very, very easy for the people to just take it. So it's taking the credit for someone else's work, which goes against the rule of academia. We all are academicians and we live in a world of academic writing. So we must follow its basic principles, its basic rules and regulations. What is plagiarism? Again, it is continuing to commit literary theft. Theft, we all know what is a theft, but when it is committed in context of literature, when it is committed in context of academic writing, it is known as plagiarism. Present an ideas or product as new and original. We pretend that this particular idea that we are presenting, we are representing, that is our own. But no, it has been derived from somebody else's, either published sources, either existing sources, or either from the ideas coming in their mind. So quoting is not banned. I'm not saying that we must not quote, but the author must be named and must be referred. See, this is again a person coming out from mind and taking the ideas from somebody else's mind. If you are taking it out, please refer that person. Is plagiarism is an unethical affair? Yes, we must try to understand why it is considered to be unethical and why we have devoted today's session just to understand the concept of plagiarism, why it is considered to be an issue, and how to get rid of it to have a perfect blend of academic writing. So plagiarism is considered to be unethical for three most important and interrelated reasons. Firstly, it is unethical because it is a form of theft that we have discussed. By taking the ideas and words of others and pretending they are your own, you are stealing someone else's intellectual property, and that is their sole property, and you are not allowed to do that. Secondly, it is unethical because the plagiarizer, the person who is stealing, subsequently benefits from this theft without giving due importance to your own understanding or making an effort. You are just copying somebody else's idea. You are getting it published in your own name and you are getting a recognition. So it is a theft and it is unethical. And third and most important, a degree is evidence of its holder's abilities and knowledge. If a student gains employment on the basis of qualification, that they have not earned, they may be a risk to others. Because by copying somebody else's ideas and pretending it to be our own, we can get recognition in the academic world, in the academic field. Even we can get a degree. On the basis of that, we can get a job. But ultimately, it is the employer, or ultimately it is the university who is employing us, is lying at a risk. So we must be very, very faithful to them. It's a kind of breaching of trust to them also. Nature of plagiarism. What is actually the nature of plagiarism? Plagiarism can take many forms, like from deliberate cheating to accidentally copying from a source without acknowledgement. Many times it happens that the students, they are not even aware of the word plagiarism. They just go to the internet, they type things in the Google, they get the material and they just copy and paste it. Like, I'll tell you a few of the incidents at my undergrads level. The students are at a very young stage. They are like not very familiar about research work and research activities, because we basically deal with teaching them the basic concepts. So it happens that there is a paper which is research method, whereby we teach students the basic things, the basic terminology, the steps of writing a research paper. And while they are doing that, at every step, we tell them that you must not copy things from the internet. You can derive, you can borrow ideas, but you must paraphrase, you must change its language. So some of the students are following this, but there are others who don't want to just do all these hard work. They just copy Control-C and paste it in a Word file, Control-V. And while doing this, they are also copying and pasting the citations and the underlining and everything. That means it is an indication that they are just copying and pasting the things. They are not giving due credit to the person. And we as a teacher, when we see it, when we read the things, we just get catch hold of everything. So they are not doing it intentionally. Many a times they are copying, they are not aware that they are a part of this plagiarized world. So it can happen sometime accidentally also, but we must stop ourselves from doing it even accidentally. So consequently, what happens? Whatever you use the word or ideas of another person in your own work, you must acknowledge where they came from. We must acknowledge, we must give due credit to the person who has actually originally incepted, who has actually given this naive idea, who has innated this. What does plagiarism look like? It's, as I have said, cut and paste. That is very simple. Cut and paste, Control-X and Control-V. So copying someone's work first, fail to cite a source. We have taken somebody's ideas, we have even paraphrased, but we were not very efficient in paraphrasing and we have failed to cite the original source. Then we are committing plagiarism. Improper citing of the source. Many a time it happens that we are very, very aware. And like while paraphrasing also, we try to cite the particular source, but we don't know exactly how to cite that source. So at that time also, we are committing plagiarism. Formation of false sources. We are getting the idea, we do not know the exact source, so we just want to bluff the society that we have created some own sources from our part and we have just said that. Okay, this person has said this, so I'm just writing. Never do this, never do this, because everything is there on the internet and by a single click, the software can easily catch hold your areas of weakness and your areas of copying and cheating and labeling somebody else's work as yours. That we have already done. So plagiarism, what is it and how to avoid it? This is very, very important. Many of us, almost all of us belong to this academic world. We are engaged in some very creative writing. We are engaged in some very creative research work. But when it comes the time to get it published, we have sent our article and the publisher sends that it is rejected. Or rejection is on many aspects. So we are not going to discuss on those, but plagiarism is one of the important things on which the editor or the publisher can reject your work. So it's our moral responsibility and duty that we must check it before we are sending it to them. There are a number of softwares available like Urkund and we have the second Turnitin. They are considered to be two most useful and most reliable source where we can put our article. And especially if you are belonging to some institute, I would advise get it checked from your respective institute, not randomly on the internet. You're just putting your article. They are just getting catch hold of your material And the next time you are checking it somewhere else, they will show your own original work to be plagiarized. So please don't do this. Let us try to understand steps to learn about plagiarism. It is important to know what plagiarism is and what form it takes. It is also important to know how this plagiarism happens. Many students who plagiarize do unintentionally, often because they don't have the academic skills, especially the lower level students or the students who are at a very start of their academic writing. They don't have proper academic skills to avoid, or they have an over reliance on the works of others. And it can also happen because they aren't sure what constitutes plagiarism. उनको पता ही नहीं है plagiarism होता क्या है. मैम ने क्लास में कोई असाइनमेंट दिया, कोई प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट दिया, बच्चों ने क्या किया, उस प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट के बेसिस पे गए, उसका जो टाइटल है उसको गूगल पे टाइप किया, whatever comes, they just control C and control V, and they are presenting it to their teachers. But we at our university never allow this. Whenever we are accepting report or a kind of assignment from the students, we ask them that you must submit a plagiarism report, because then it will give a fair idea that it's your original work, it's your original ideas. So the final step is to develop why we should not do this or why we must avoid plagiarism. The basic conception is to develop an effective academic skills, which is going to give us a recognition in this academic world. So it's important to take every opportunity to develop our own academic skills, and this is the best way that can be done. There are 3 steps processes to conceptualize plagiarism. We must try to understand its nature and its concepts. Step 1, to know what plagiarism is. सबसे पहले ये जानने की कोशिश करनी होगी plagiarism होता क्या है. जब तक हमें ये समझ में नहीं आएगा, उसको कैसे रोके, उसको कैसे अवॉइड करें या फिर उसको कैसे कमिट नहीं करें, इसके बारे में हम उसके बाद स्टेप्स लेंगे. So plagiarism is using the ideas or words of others and passing them off as your own. आपने दूसरे की आइडिया ले ली और उसको अपने नाम पे you have just written it, you have reproduced it, and you have just published. So make sure you are aware of this common types of plagiarism. Please don't do this. Step 2, know how plagiarism happens. कैसे plagiarism होता है? बहुत सारे steps होते हैं. As the chief guest of today's session, sir has also said that many a times our own academic writing, we have got it published at somewhere else, and we are taking ideas from that and we are rewriting it in our second research paper. If you are doing your own original work and rewriting, again it's a plagiarism, because आप खुद के ideas को दोबारा copy नहीं कर सकते, वो publish हो चुका है. You can change the word or do some new inputs to that. So make sure that the student, you are aware how plagiarism occurs. बहुत जरूरी है आपको ये पता होना कि plagiarism किस किस तरीके से निकल के आ जाता है. Step 3, develop effective academic skills that you must develop. Good academic skills make plagiarism less likely to occur. Take every opportunity to develop your academic skills. आप अपने academic skills को enhance करें by a number of research paper writing, read newspapers, read some blogs, and try to think them in your own constructive manner, that can I write something constructive related with this particular thing? If some idea comes, just pen it down. And if you want some further ideas with that, you can take their ideas, you can get a notion that how to move about this, but don't copy it. You have to do it on your own to enhance your academic skills. Now, is plagiarism an ethical issue in research? Yes, definitely. And it is a form of theft. Plagiarism of others' text, material, ideas, research result is unacceptable. We have already discussed what is plagiarism, but this is not at all acceptable in the present academic world. And it constitutes a serious breach of ethical standards. Each and every norms, aspect in society is guided by some sort of standard. So we have some sort of standard maintained in the research world also, and there are some ethics involved. So plagiarism is breach of such ethical standards. In terms of research ethics, plagiarism involves stealing content from the work of other writers and researchers and publishing it as own research. बहुत common है, बहुत ज़्यादा common है. बहुत सारे researchers या academic writers ऐसे भी हैं जो शायद इस plagiarism software को use नहीं करते हैं or they're just writing and they're getting it published. The moment you are reproducing your published work to some renowned institutions, they are randomly going to check this for the plagiarism, and they will see that more than 50%, 60%, even 90% of your content has been plagiarized. So automatically it's a rejection. Firstly, by taking the ideas and words of others and surfacing their own, you are stealing someone else's intellectual property, and it is unethical because plagiarizer subsequently benefits from this thought. Now, what are the common issues in plagiarism? Lack of knowledge about what is plagiarism, lack of clear understanding of the nature of plagiarism, and ease at opportunity. Everything available on the digital platform. And the fourth important aspect that I would like to focus is the cultural differences in academic tradition. We all belong to different cultures, and we have our own conception, ideas, and hence it varies from region to region and culture to culture. So based on this also, people having their own cultural identity, people are just copying and pasting. So it is based on cultural differences in the field of academic tradition. Now, why students or the research scholars, they plagiarize? So almost you can say 34% on the basis of a data collected, lack of research skill. This is very, very important. We cannot just blame our students, be it undergraduate student, MPhil research scholars or the PhD research scholars, कि तुम्हारे research paper में high level of plagiarism है. It's because of the lack of research skills they are having. And as a supervisor, it is our moral responsibility कि हम उनको सिखाएं. Instead of copying things from other, you must develop your own skills. So 34% liability goes to us. Second is the lack of time, 26%. Lack of time नहीं है, इतना बैठ के कौन सोचेगा? Internet पे मिल रहा है, just copy and paste it. They do not know the consequences of that. Now third, 22% careless note taking. Just carelessness attitude रहता है, आधा अधूरा काम किया, note लिया और जो मिला internet से उसको copy करके just complete कर दिया. This also happens. We must accept this. And 18, confusion on how to cite sources. This is very important. There are many academic writers, many researchers जो serious research करना चाहते हैं, which is free from plagiarism, but in reality they don't know how to cite. मैंने किसी का काम लिया, उसको paraphrase भी किया, लेकिन उसको cite कैसे करूं? Lack of proper citation aspect. Suppose if I am writing a paper on agricultural development in India, and I have read a number of papers related with this modern agricultural techniques, and I got some very new ideas कि ठीक है, अगर ये वाला चीज harvesters use करेंगे, harrows use करेंगे, या फिर sprinkler या drip irrigation use करेंगे, so it will enhance the agricultural productivity. And I also know who the author is and which is the year of his publication. I have used some of his ideas which I've used in references in the literature review, but exactly I do not know कि मैं उसको cite end में कैसे करूं. And if I even forget to mention its citation, I am committing the academic theft. I am accused of being plagiarized. This is the C. तो इसको भी बहुत अच्छे से फोकस करना होगा, और हम सब जितने लोग आज इस FDB में प्रेजेंट है, because it entails faculty development program. Most of us are faculty, और हमारे अंदर बहुत सारे research scholars हैं, be it MPhil, be it PhD, और even स्कूल के भी बच्चे हो सकते हैं. उनको बहुत बेस लेवल से हमें सिखाना पड़ेगा कि इस थेफ्ट को कभी कमिट नहीं करें. तो ये हमारी मॉरल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. कंफ्यूजन ऑन हाउ टू साइट सोर्सेस, which is 18%, and 34% lack of research skills. ये दोनों का जो भी लाइबिलिटी है वो हम सुपरवाइजर्स, हम टीचर्स के ऊपर है. तो हमें इस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को अच्छे से निभाना है अगर हम चाहते हैं हमारे अंदर जितने रिसर्चर्स काम कर रहे हैं उनका स्किल्स एनहांस हो. पहले खुद को भी इम्प्रूव करना है. Why it is important to know about plagiarism? बहुत जरूरी है plagiarism के बारे में जानना. To produce original work, this is very important. When we opt the field of research, see, when we did our graduation, we had a number of opportunities. Graduation के बाद हम बहुत सारे fields में जा सकते थे, but we teachers, we faculty opted for this particular field. क्यों? क्योंकि we had a special place for this particular field. We had an interest, and any profession that is having interest must produce originality. और originality कहाँ से आएगा? On the basis of the inherent academic skills that you have. So please let us have a perfect blend of academic skills and academic writing to produce original works in any field of streams you are, whether you are from the field of arts, humanities, science, social science, anything, it doesn't matter. But the one thing that echoes is to produce the original work. Second, why it's important? To ensure that you are very clear about your own ideas and about how the works of other scholars have influenced your understanding. Suppose I want to work in a particular field, but I'm not getting the clear idea how to move about. So just to have a fair knowledge, what I have done based on the title on which I want to do some invention, I have read some published articles. So based on those published articles, based on the ideas produced by various scholars, I could generate a new idea. So this is important, but I must never take their idea. Based on their ideas, I could have something new in my mind. So we should be clear about our own, very own ideas that is innate to us. Apart from, as part of an academic community, we all are expected to abide by its ethical practices. Jaise hota hai na, when we are going to the ministerial candidate, or when we are choosing our profession as a politician, the first thing that we do, we take an oath that we are here to take care of the citizens for the welfare of the individual. Similar thing, there is no such formality that we have to put our hand and take an oath, but it is something which is in our conscience, and we must abide by this, and we have to follow this ethical practices. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए आपने किसी की काम को कॉपी करा, पेस्ट करा और पब्लिश करा दिया. You must feel guilt of that. आपको खुद से वो लगना चाहिए कि तेरा काम नहीं. I'm not liable to get it published. Please follow the ethical practices of academic writing. आप खुद से नया काम करेंगे, original काम करेंगे. People will appreciate you. People will appreciate for your innovative thought processes. And publishing the paper is just a way to represent what you have thought, what ideas have come to your mind to the world, so that it can also be spread. There is a very famous, in geography, we have a model and a theory, which is known as Hagerstand model of diffusion, which says that whenever something new erupts or comes, it is from a source. एक source से कोई भी नया idea erupt होता है. It may be, and usually it is the mind of a researcher. वहां से you can give it a shape. ज़्यादा idea नहीं मिलता है. You can read other articles, and then you can put some input to that. At the moment you have a fair idea that what you have to do, how you have to move ahead, you can just work on that. And by the time it's complete, you have to just type it down, write it down, and get it published for the world to get benefited from that. Not copying somebody else's idea, but your own innate ideas. So it is partly this tradition of acknowledgement of sources in the form of in-text citation or footnotes that separates academic writing from other forms of knowledge. Difference है, क्योंकि हम अपने academic writing में, when we are writing something, we have the habit of giving some footnotes, या फिर text के अंदर हम उसको cite करते हैं, which is known as in-text citation. I'll tell you more about this in the coming discussion. So these forms the very strength of the academic writing. So what we must do? We must stop plagiarism. How to remove? We don't know. हमें पता नहीं है. हम नहीं चाहते कि हमारा काम प्लेजराइज हो या फिर हम दूसरे के काम को कॉपी पेस्ट करें. लेकिन कुछ नया करना है या प्लेजरिज्म रोकना है. This is very important and the important part of today's discussion. How to do that? How to remove? अगर हमने कर लिया तो कैसे हटाए? और दूसरा, how to avoid? हम करें ही ना. There are two aspects. एक तो हम करें ही नहीं, avoid. दूसरा, अगर हमने गलती से accidentally plagiarize कर लिया, उसको avoid कैसे करें? So there are many ways. I'll give you some insight on some of the important aspects that you must follow the next time you are writing a research paper. And I'm sure if you are going to follow all these steps and you are going to put your article in any plagiarism software, it will definitely be less than 10%. So usually UGC ने 10% का guideline दिया है, but I as a researcher, I as a teacher, I as an academician, even if the plagiarism for my research paper comes out to be 9% or 8%, I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied unless and until it is less than 3%. मुझे तो 3% भी पसंद नहीं है. But yes, there are few of the things which cannot be altered. So please make sure, always try to have it less than 3% to be on a safer side. सारे ideas आपके हैं. कहाँ से plagiarism आएगा? बिल्कुल नहीं आएगा. So first is paraphrase. Para and phrase. You have to rephrase a particular paragraph. And how you can do that? This is the method of reading the source and putting the ideas in your own words. You just read what other people are saying. You are very much familiar with that. या फिर आप उससे agree करते हैं. Don't just take it as it is. Because the plagiarism software usually क्या करता है, अगर आपने किसी के भी ideas को, किसी के भी write-up को उठा के copy paste कर दिया, the first 4 line, if it is matching, it will take the entire paragraph to be plagiarized. So try to reconvert, try to rephrase in a different language, in a different words, use some synonym. The meaning remains the same, the meaning remains intact, but you have paraphrased. So by this, you will have to use quotation mark if you do use, or copy words together. कोशिश करिए जितना ज्यादा हो सके वहां पे उनके वर्ड्स कॉपी ना करके, आइडियाज यू कैन टेक, बट उस आइडियाज को भी थोड़ा मॉडिफाई करके कुछ इनोवेशन उसमें लेके आइए and change the words. This is one of the way. Second is citation. This uses style guides, including MLA and APA. I'll tell you MLA or APA are the 2 types of citation when we move ahead on the citation styles. Cite properly to avoid plagiarism. Suppose Professor Tanya has written a paper and I'm reading her paper and I'm just getting very much influenced. बहुत अच्छा लिखा education के ऊपर. I'm very much agreeable to what she is telling. So what I'll do, I'll not take the words exactly what she has said. I'll try to take the idea, her idea. Again, I'll try to modify her name, the year in which she has published, and in the book or in the journal, the article in which she has opined her ideas. Third is the quotation. Use the quote in the exact way it appears and do not change any word inside. This is very important, and it is totally different from paraphrasing and citation. Quotation means many a times when you are taking lecture at your university, at your classroom, जब आप बच्चों को कुछ लिखवाते हैं और किसी ने अगर कोई वर्ब बोला या फिर कोई कोटेशन बोला, आप उसमें कोई चेंजेस नहीं कर सकते because it is their innate ideas. You must write it as it is without changing a single word, and it should come within double inverted comma. So what you have to do, अगर आपको कभी भी किसी के कोट्स को कॉपी करके पेस्ट करना हो, अवॉइड करिए, पूरे वर्ड टू वर्ड लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. स्टार्टिंग के 3-4 लाइन लीजिए and then you can have just parenthesis ... But you must also cite the author. So use the quote in the exact way it appears and do not change any word inside. Avoid plagiarism by quoting properly. अगर आप exact word to word copy करते हैं, वो आपको करना है क्योंकि quotation में आप कोई change नहीं कर सकते. उनका आइडिया लीजिए और उसको अपने वर्ड में आप रिफ्रेज करके लिखिए. लेकिन अगर आप कोटेशन यूज कर रहे हैं, लंबा कोटेशन है, and within double inverted comma, the entire paragraph turns out to be fully and 100% plagiarized. Referencing. This is another way to remove the plagiarism or to get rid of the plagiarism. In your research, allot a page or 2 for listing the work cited in your research to avoid plagiarism. Include specific information on publication, authors, and so on. You must do it, and we all do it as part of reference. Reference forms an important portion, be it a project report, be it assignment, or be it a high quality journal to be published in some reputed journals. Referencing is must. And the moment you are putting references, so whatever thing you have cited in the text, referred in the text, उसके लिए आप references provide कर रहे हैं, तो वो सब plagiarism से remove हो जाता है. और अगर plagiarism software इसको detect भी करता है as a plagiarism, so when it goes to the final publisher, they just overlook all these aspects because they know that reference definitely किसी और का काम है, वहां से आपने ideas लिया, लेकिन उसको आपने paraphrase कर दिया. So today I'll try to focus थोड़ा ज्यादा paraphrase के ऊपर और फिर हम citation पे आएंगे, source पे आएंगे, summarize पे आएंगे. What is a paraphrase? A paraphrase which is pronounced paraphrase. Together we call it paraphrase. It is a restatement or rewording of a paragraph or text in order to borrow, clarify, or expand on information without plagiarizing. In simple terms, if we want to understand कि paraphrasing होता क्या है, स्टूडेंट्स को हम हमेशा बताते हैं कि बेटा आप जब ये काम कर रहे हैं, प्लीज चेंज द वर्ड, प्लीज रीफ्रेम. इससे होता है उनका vocabulary, उनका formation of like sentences, structure, they all enhance. So paraphrasing is altering the wording used by someone else's in your own words. It involves rewriting the entire text with completely different words and phrases. अगर उसने कोई phrase use किया, आप उसको alter करो. Keeping the original essence intact. ये बहुत जरूरी है. उस entire word का, उस entire paragraph का, उस entire sentence का जो original essence है, वो intact होना चाहिए. उसमें कोई change नहीं होना चाहिए जब भी आप paraphrase करते हैं. आपने word change किया, लेकिन ideas तो आपके नहीं है, तो आपको उसको cite भी करना पड़ेगा. Okay, so इससे the level of plagiarism will go down. Also, the key points are still to be acknowledged. अगर उस particular innate या original author ने कुछ key points को focus किया है, उसको आप alter नहीं कर सकते. उसका जो essence होता है, उसका जो like important aspects होता है, which form the base of his research, must be intact and must be acknowledged. आपको acknowledge करना है as a true academic writer. So paraphrasing is an important tool to use when writing research papers, essays, any pieces of journalism, any assignments, or any academic writing. What is ideas of paraphrasing? There is a very fine line between plagiarism and paraphrasing. आपको इसको बहुत अच्छे से समझना होगा. You cannot just rewrite anything. मैम ने बोला है words change करने ना, हम words change करते हैं. No. While changing the word, you must pay attention. उसका ओरिजिनल टेक्स्ट शुड बी सेम, मीनिंग शुड बी सेम. अगर आपने उस चीज को नहीं अटेम्प्ट किया और आपको लगता है आपने पैराफ्रेज किया, स्टिल सॉफ्टवेयर उसको प्लेजराइज बताएगा. सो देयर इज अ वेरी फाइन लाइन, बहुत फाइन डिफरेंस है प्लेजरिज्म और पैराफ्रेजिंग के बीच. इफ द वर्डिंग ऑफ द पैराफ्रेज इज टू क्लोज टू द वर्डिंग ऑफ द ओरिजिनल कंटेंट, इट इज अ प्लेजरिज्म. आपको लगता है हमने तो पैराफ्रेज कर लिया, मतलब वी आर अ मास्टर. नो, इट इज अ स्किल. अगर आपने कोई नए वर्ड को प्रोपाउंड किया है ओरिजिनल वर्ड को रिप्लेस करने के लिए, और वो नया वर्ड अगर ओरिजिनल वर्ड से बहुत क्लोज है, इट इज अपीयरिंग सेम, कंप्यूटर विल डिटेक्ट इट और वो उसको रेड में हाईलाइट करके प्लेजराइज कर देगा. नाउ यू गेट कंफ्यूज्ड कि हमने तो पैराफ्रेज कर लिया, फिर भी ये क्यों आ रहा है. डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज्ड. डेवलप दैट स्किल ऑफ पैराफ्रेजिंग. और ये ऐसा नहीं है कि आज के सेशन के बाद, आज के डिस्कशन के बाद आप एक दिन में सीख जाएंगे. Again, it requires your academic skill. कहते हैं ना, नकल करने के लिए भी अकल लगाना होता है. So I'm not asking you people to do नकल, बिल्कुल नहीं करना. लेकिन if you are taking somebody's idea ना, use your academic skills. उसको paraphrase करने के लिए भी you need to have academic skills. Practice करेंगे तभी इस चीज को कर पाएंगे. So the main idea need not come through, but in your own words. This is very important. आपका अपना वर्ड होना चाहिए. To use another person's writing in your own can be accomplished. आप कर सकते हैं. दूसरे लोगों ने जो काम किया, अगर आपको बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है और उससे आपके रिसर्च राइटिंग थोड़ा इंप्रूव होगा या बेस फॉर्म करता है. Because literature review is a very important portion of a research. जिसमें आप बताते हैं एक पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक से रिलेटेड पहले रिसर्चर्स ने, स्कॉलर्स ने क्या काम किया है, और उसके बाद यू समराइज, यू ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट द गैप, एट व्हाट इज द लिटरेचर गैप owing to which you are like presuming your research. कुछ तो गैप होगा ना, इसलिए आप उस फील्ड में रिसर्च कर रहे हैं. तो आप उनके आइडियाज को अगर लेना चाहते हैं, आप उसको लेके अपने रिसर्च का बेस तैयार कर सकते हैं. लेकिन ये आइडियाज कभी भी आपके एनालिसिस में नहीं चलेगा. एनालिसिस शुड बी योर ओन. आपने इसको लिटरेचर रिव्यू का पार्ट फॉर्म किया, डू दैट, बट डेफिनेटली उनको कोटेशन दीजिए, उनको साइटेशन दीजिए, उनका रेफरेंस सेक्शन में नाम ऐड. So a quote will need not to be exact wording and the author and source will not be identified. Paraphrasing usually makes the passage shorter than original. This is a very important and significant part of paraphrasing. Suppose Dr. Sanjay, he has written a paragraph and that paragraph is very appealing to me, related with again teachers' education. I also want to write something on that. But what do I do? He has used 10 lines to represent that idea. If I'm very smart and if my academic writing is very, very fine, what I'll do, I'll just get the ideas and I'll try to crisp it down. मैं उसको और words कम करके same idea को explain कर सकती हूँ. आप कभी भी research paper कहीं पे भी publication के लिए भेजते हैं, the first thing that is there in their guidelines, the word limit. और अगर आपने उस word limit को cross किया, तो first thing जिसके कारण हमारा paper reject होता है, वो plagiarism पे नहीं check करते. सबसे पहले वो आपका word limit देखते हैं. If it is between 5,000 to 7,000, and if yours is 9,000, automatically rejected. They do not have time because they have seen that this particular author has not followed the guidelines. उसने उस guideline को ही नहीं follow किया. Then why to waste our time on reading the manuscript? So you must do that. Maximum information to be represented in minimum words. जिसको हम pressy writing. Yes, I remember the word. Schools में when we were students, हम तो अब बच्चों को नहीं कराते क्योंकि बच्चे बहुत smart हो गए हैं in today's world. When we were the school-going kids, ना, there used to be a session, a special like period school में होते थे जिसमें सिर्फ pressy writing कराया जाता था. क्यों? आपको एक particular book दे दिया गया, उसमें chapter दे दिया गया. The teacher used to do कि आप पूरा पढ़ो और उसको ना summarize करो, लेकिन words should be 1/3. That was the rule they used to say. I remember it. अगर 100 words में है वो ideas तो उसको 1/3, 33 words में आपको summarize करना है. So we have developed that, almost all of us, because we belong to the same era, same generation. हम सबने वो किया, exact same thing. Paraphrasing में जब किसी idea को आप re-represent करते हैं, rephrase करते हैं, automatically the words become shorter, the paragraph becomes shorter, and this is a merit for us or the person who is paraphrasing. Why do people paraphrase? There are a variety of reasons why people prefer paraphrasing over quoting. Quotation देने से ज़्यादा अच्छा लोगों को लगता है हम paraphrase करते हैं. Because quotation में there is a direct chance of being involved in plagiarism. So it depicts and reflects that author has a very clear understanding of the original. Tell me one thing. If I'm giving you a paragraph and if I'm asking you कि आप उसको paraphrase करो, आप ऐसे तो नहीं कर सकते. For that you have to read that paragraph. You have to understand that paragraph. You have to get the concept by heart. बिल्कुल दिमाग में fit करना है. And once you have got the idea, you can easily do that. So what does it do? It depicts and it reflects कि जिसने भी उसको paraphrase किया है plagiarism से बचने के लिए उसकी भी academic understanding, academic skills बहुत अच्छे. Clear understanding of the original text so well that they're able to rewrite it in their own words. This is also a skill and we must appreciate this. Second, paraphrasing gives one the chance to expand their own knowledge by explaining something in your own words. आप जब paraphrase करते हैं जरूरी नहीं है exact आप उनके words को ही या फिर उनके ideas को exactly ले लें. जब आप उनके ideas को ले रहे हैं original author, you can also put in your own ideas. So you have that avenue in the paraphrasing. Quotation में ये avenue नहीं होता. कि quotation में तो आप with a double inverted comma में जो quote जिसने बोला उसको आप as it is लेके डालेंगे. You are not allowed to write a single word in that. So you do not have the option. You do not have that freedom. But paraphrasing gives you that freedom. Oftentimes we learn better when we are absorbing information, and paraphrasing is an excellent chance to do that. I would definitely say most of us, when we are writing a research paper, हम ideas तो लेते ही हैं. कहीं से कुछ ideas आया तभी तो new thing comes to our mind to do research. तो वो ideas आप लेके उसको rephrase करें और अपने innovative thought process उसमें डाल के create something new, create some wonders. So paraphrasing is a much more flexible than simply quoting the words of someone else's. There is also a chance to use fewer words, as I have said. So when is it right to paraphrase? ऐसा नहीं है किसी भी words को उठा के किसी भी paragraph को उठा के we can paraphrase. We must decide that when it is right that we must do paraphrasing. Sometimes simply quoting the words of another person is enough. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है लोगों ने बोला एक लाइन में हमने उसको डाल दिया. However, there are times when it is preferable to paraphrase. जिसमें हम कुछ नए inventions डाल सकते हैं. Let's take a look at what would make the ideal time to paraphrase. If a quote would be too lengthy, किसी ने quotation दिया बहुत लंबा है, it's running in 10 lines. मैंने उनकी idea को ले लिया और उसको 3 line में मैंने expand कर दिया. So you are saving time on that. So in that case, paraphrasing is preferred over quotation. If you feel that your own wording would get the point across more easily, अगर आप उस exactly same idea को अपने words में लिखते हैं, कुछ नए words में you have a very good vocabulary skills, structural capacities, और अगर वो चीजें आप किसी international journal में भेजते हैं, it has a higher chance of getting acceptance than the original thing. I do that क्योंकि मुझे लगता है जो लोगों ने लिखा है मैं उससे लिख सकती हूँ. I have my own innovative ideas, so why to do that? हाँ, definitely बहुत सारे research articles पढ़ने पे ideas do come, And उस ideas के basis पे लगता है कि okay, this person has researched in this particular field, but he has ignored this. So let me take this and try to research on that. So I believe in that. I have full confidence of it. So I do not take others' word. You are paraphrasing something with a large piece of writing. आपने किसी के words को थोड़ा लिया, paragraph थोड़ा लिया, but उसमें larger revenue add करके you have created your own. How to paraphrase? There are two easy steps that one can follow at times when you need to paraphrase. First thing, read and make sure that you understand the original piece of writing. बहुत जरूरी. आपको original piece of writing को अच्छे से समझना होगा. Then only you can actually do 100% paraphrase. Make a note of the key ideas. This is very important. Even though in present generation computers and this mouse and click has come, but I still rely on notepad and pen. क्योंकि उससे जो चीजें mind में आती है ना, I just copy it down, note it down कि ये points के ऊपर मुझे कुछ नया research करना है. Write a version of the text in your own words without referring to the original. एक नया version होना चाहिए उस text का, something new which is exclusive to you. Compare the two with one another. दोनों को एक बार compare करके देखो. Make any amendments to the new version. अगर आपको लगता है बहुत difference नहीं है और software इसको plagiarized कर देगा, make a new version of that. And you have to do that. It will develop your knack of writing and your knack of understanding. And then at last you must reference the source. जिस भी source से लिया है उसको reference section में आपको include करना ही है. That is a must. Some suggestible tips for researchers while you are doing paraphrasing. Begin your new version of text at different point than where the original begins. आपने original text से जिस idea को जिस point पे लिया है, आप अपने new research paper में या अपने research paper में उस idea को उसी exact point पे introduce नहीं करेंगे. Try to introduce at a different aspect because it will give a new avenue to new dimension to your research. First thing, please keep in mind. Second, make good use of synonym. Synonym, that means meaning same रहता है, words different होते हैं और इससे आपका vocabulary भी बहुत ज़्यादा strong हो जाता है. आपको thesaurus use करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. The more you are writing papers, the more new words will come to your mind and you will become an innovator. Third, consider changing the sentence structure, such as changing from a passive voice to an active voice. Or if it is in an active voice, you can change it to a passive voice. हम सबने schools में पढ़ा था. Active voice होता है, which is a direct speech. Passive, indirect. Ram is a good boy. Direct, which is an active. Passive, Ram is pretended to be a good boy. मैंने इसको change कर दिया language. कोशिश करिए थोड़े वर्ड्स को भी चेंज कर दीजिए. आप राम नहीं चेंज कर सकते, राम तो उसका नाम, वो तो वैसे ही रहेगा. वो गुड है, अच्छा है, गुड को नहीं चेंज कर सकते, बट गुड का कोई सिनोनिम आता है डेफिनेटली. द एसेंस इज राम एक अच्छा बच्चा है, ये होना चाहिए. आप इसको चेंज करके दूसरे वर्ड में, दूसरे सेंटेंस में एक स्ट्रक्चर बना के यू कैन डेफिनेटली राइट. सो हियर आई हैव टेकन एग्जांपल्स ऑफ अ पैराफ्रेजिंग जस्ट फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड. लाइक आई एम टेकिंग द ओरिजिनल. Her life spanned years of incredible change for women. Now, Marv lived through an era of liberating. I'll just skip this first one. Giraffe like acacia. Acacia is a kind of, you can say, grass-like structure. Acacia leaves and hay, and they can consume 75 pounds of food a day. So this is the original word. I'm very much liking this particular sentence that is being written somewhere, but I cannot write it as it is. So I have paraphrased. A giraffe can eat up to 75 pounds of acacia leaves and hay every day. Words कुछ same है, कुछ change हो गए, but मैंने पूरा इसको replace कर दिया. Any trip to Italy should include a visit to Tuscany to sample their exquisite wines. Now paraphrased, be sure to include a Tuscan wine tasting experience when visiting Italy. मीनिंग सेम है, एसेंस सेम है, सिर्फ इसको पैराफ्रेज कर दिया. सेकेंड इंपॉर्टेंट आफ्टर पैराफ्रेज इज समराइजेशन. वी आर एक्चुअली having a discussion on how to avoid plagiarism, and the first was the paraphrasing. The second is summarize. Summarizing is exacting the key ideas and main points from the original source. आप उसके एक summary को provide करते हो जिसको हम gist भी कहते हैं. However, the original source must be referenced. This is the key guiding principle. उसका जो original source है वो reference करना must है. The summary should be ideally shorter than the original text, than the researcher is summarizing. And number 4, usage of one's own words as far as possible. Very similar to paraphrasing, लेकिन उसमें difference ये है, इसमें आप पूरा summarization देते हैं. Paraphrasing एक line का भी हो सकता है, but summary हमेशा एक particular idea का होता है. एक line का आप summary नहीं दे सकते. Summary is only when we have presented some ideas and we are providing a summarization of that. So 2 points that must be noted while summarization of any piece of literary work. Write the summary entirely in your own words by paraphrasing the author's ideas. I'll tell you why. Suppose you are writing a research paper. पूरा research paper आपने complete करा, आपने उसमें introduction, nature of problem, significance of study, then conceptual framework, aims and objectives, hypothesis, then you have data source, methodology, and then analysis plus findings. इसके बाद comes suggestion, और last में we have the summarization. Summarization हमेशा it is said right in your own words. And you know, I'll tell you, अगर आप कहीं पे भी अपना research paper भेजते हैं ना publish होने के लिए, the publisher or the editor, what they look in, वो पूरे research paper को नहीं पढ़ते. They see the key points. सबसे पहले वो देखते हैं main theme क्या है, आपने aims and objectives क्या लिया, उसको fulfill करने के लिए data क्या लिया, analysis पे थोड़ा focus करते हैं, directly they come to the summary. And summaries should never be copied of somebody else's, because it is a summarization of your own word. So while writing the summary, it should be entirely in your own words by paraphrasing the author's ideas. Ideas you can take. I'm every time taking ideas से ही आपको new ideas आते हैं, but it should not be exactly the same. Cite the source with an in-text citation. Text के अंदर आपको citation देनी है and a full reference, so your reader can easily find the original text. What is in-text citation? In-text citation में आप सिर्फ author का surname और year देते हैं, और उसके बाद उसको indirect या passive voice में explain करते हैं summary के form में, and usually it comes in the form of literature review. और उसका जो full citation होता है, full reference, that forms a part of the reference section. Now let us come to the third, which is cite or citations. See, 3 people, they are citing somebody's original work. This is the original person. One is citing, the other is citing, and the third is citing. Definitely, a number of people can cite your work, and based on this citation also, only citation index, H index, I index is being calculated for a researcher. The higher it is, the more credible source you are to the academic world. So citations are the way in which you give credit to others for their work and avoid committing plagiarism. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है ना, Scopus Index Journal में या SCI Index Journal में आपका कोई पेपर पब्लिश हुआ, when you see, आपको पता चलता है कितने लोगों ने आपके आर्टिकल को साइट किया है. Site scores आते हैं उसके basis पे. 64 people have cited. That means they are using your ideas, definitely, but they are giving due credit in the form of citation. आपका नाम साइट कर रहे हैं. It happens with me. अगर आपने रिसर्च गेट पे अपना कोई प्रोफाइल बना रखा है, and the moment मेल आईडी पे भी आता है कि कुछ इस पर्टिकुलर स्टडी में आपका नाम साइट किया गया है, that means I get a fair idea. मुझे अलर्ट आते हैं कि आपका नाम साइट किया गया है, मतलब मेरे आइडियाज को या मेरे आर्टिकल्स में से कोई लाइन को लेके अगर लिखा गया है तो ड्यू क्रेडिट हैज बीन गिवन टू मी. So that is citation. उस केस में you would be like free from being plagiarized. They are also the way in which you can join the professional and scholarly conversation on a given topic. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है ना कि suppose I have written something and people are citing. They can also give comments, and there is a conversation going on a specific topic. So you can form a part of that professional world with the help of cite and citations, because you are not committing any crime. आप उस person को cite. Citation style, कैसे cite करेंगे आप? This is also very important. People are confused. There are many different citation styles, but the 2 most common that is usually being asked by the publisher, publishing agency, the editors is the APA and the MLA. The APA is the American Psychological Association style, and MLA is the Modern Language Association. These are the 2 different schools of association, you can say. थोड़ा सा दोनों में difference होता है, but it depends कि आपके supervisor को क्या चाहिए, या फिर आपकी university में किस चीज को prefer किया जाता है, या फिर आप high level index journal में, Scopus Index Journal में अपने articles भेज रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पे which citation style is preferred by them. So it's not that APA is better या MLA is better. That there should not be any debate on that. Both of them are equally important. So for academic assignments, your instructor will usually specify which style you should use. In general, MLA, which is the Modern Language Association style, is used more frequently in humanities, while APA is used more commonly in the social sciences and sciences. Like we geographers, we usually prefer the APA style. हम ज़्यादा APA style को prefer करते हैं, being the like social science background. In fact, science stream से भी जो faculties होते हैं, वो भी APA को. It's a general perception. Now, in-text citation, थोड़ा सा इस पे focus करते हैं quickly. In-text citations are used within the text of your paper. आपके research paper के text के अंदर आप इसको cite करते हैं and indicate to your readers from which source listed in your work cited or bibliography you are extracting information or quotations. Like from a book, अगर आप किसी book या किसी journal या किसी article से ले रहे हैं, जैसे मैंने बोला, author का last name is the surname. You have to take the surname. If there are many authors together, you have to use et al. Et.al. That is indicating more than 2 authors. If there are 2 authors, suppose Dr. Sanjay and Professor Tanya has written something, so unka jo surname hoga and karke aayega or year aayega. If there are more than 2, so it would be the first author's surname et.al. Et al. Is indicating more than 2 authors are being involved in writing this particular thing. And yes, a page. Because if that article is spanning over 20 pages, the person who is reading and want to get to know more about that, वो पूरा 20 page का article नहीं पढ़ेगा. They want to know the exact page number from where you have taken this particular aspect. If there is no author, पर ऐसा भी होता है, हमने इंटरनेट पे पढ़ा और हमें author का नाम ही नहीं पता चलता. We can take the title of that particular piece of academic writing and the page number. If possible, easy रहेगा. Many a time it happens, we are just reading something online. खाली बैठे हमें इंटरनेट पे डाला, like I do, metro में बैठी हुई हूँ, 45 minutes I have. Why to waste it? I just keep on reading some blogs, some articles, some PDFs and all. So suddenly I came across a very good idea. I'm trying to search, किसने बोला है ये? But I could not get. It's an open source from the internet. So use either the author name, if you get hold of it, very good. Or if page has no known author, title लीजिए, title तो रहता ही है किसी भी. And in parenthesis में जाके देखिए कहीं कुछ available है. So you have to do that. If nothing you are getting, किसका है, कहाँ है, but आपने ideas तो लिया ना. You have to write anonymous, and then you have to write page number, and if possible, please the site https:// and whatever is the address, so that you are not accused of getting the things plagiarized. कल को कोई आपको नहीं बोले कि आपने तो पूरा कॉपी कर लिया या फिर पैराफ्रेज भी किया, आपने citation नहीं दिया, आपने उसको ड्यू क्रेडिट नहीं दिया. You cannot say at that time, at the time of being caught of academic theft, कि मुझे तो मिला ही नहीं. You are getting somebody else's idea और आपने कोशिश भी नहीं करी जानने की ये किसकी. So you have to write anonymous. If you feel it is unclear, you may also cite the database example, last name. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है newspaper में ही we get an idea. So New York Times, particular page number and this particular date. So reference citation is must. नहीं तो things would be plagiarized. Example, one example I'm taking to show you कैसे MLA style और APA style में कैसे होता है ये. Suppose there is an author who is Lee Simon A. Okay, article title, variation in study patterns among college students, a review of literature. This is the title of the article on which she has worked. Source title, college student journal. What is the name of the journal? That is the college student journal. It should always be in italics. Volume and issue, volume number 49, issue number 2. Publication date 2015, that is must. And page number, किसी भी journal article के लिए this is must. अगर आपका कोई original book है, तो पूरे book का from page number 1 up till last you have to write. Is spanning up till this page number. So 195 up till 198. So this is, see, this is the APA style that we prefer. Lee, then you have to take a comma because this is the surname. And there are 2 names. This is the first name and the middle name. So S.A. We don't write their full form. We just take the first alphabet, S.A. And within bracket, you have to write the year, 2015. After you have finished, close the bracket, put a full stop. And then variation in study patterns among college students. Please make sure आप पहला letter कभी भी caps करेंगे. जो भी title है, जिस format में है, जैसा है आप वैसा लिखिए. And then colon, a review of literature. Again, full stop. comma नहीं आएगा. College student journal. This is a name of the journal. ये italics में होना must है. Comma 49 and 2. 49 is indicating that this is the volume, and 2 under bracket is representing which issue of that particular volume. And then comma and 195 से 198. You will not write P dot P, PP dot. बहुत बार बच्चे ऐसा भी लिखते हैं, PP dot means page number. No need to write. The moment you are writing 195 to 198, it's indicating that this is the page number. But in MLA style, see, there is a difference. You have to write the surname, but as far as the first name is concerned, you have to write it totally. आपको उसका first alphabet नहीं use करना. Second के लिए you can use it. Now, name of the article comes within double inverted comma. And then college student journal 49.2. They are not using, what do we say? Paragraph नहीं use करते. 49.2. Dot is indicating कि कौन सा issue है. And then 2015. Year यहाँ पे नहीं आया. In the APS style, year has come soon after the name of the author. Here it comes later. And then 195 से 198 page number. And then your academic search primer web 19th August. Particular कहाँ पे ये publish हुआ, कौन से date को publish हुआ, कौन से specific year को publish हुआ. This also needs to be written. So these are the two different style of citation that we researchers, we scholars usually follow. So important reminders as far as citation is considered, always double check all your citations for accuracy. अभी भी पेपर सबमिट करने के पहले चेक कर लीजिए आपने जितने लोगों का रेफरेंस लिया है या फिर आइडियाज लिया उन सबको आपने रेफरेंस सेक्शन में रेफर किया है, इन टेक्स्ट उनको साइट किया है, क्योंकि अगर आप नहीं करेंगे इट विल फॉर्म एज अ पार्ट ऑफ प्रॉपर फॉर्मेटिंग होना चाहिए. फॉर्मेटिंग इन द सेंस रिसर्च जर्नल का जो गाइडलाइंस है आप उसको फॉलो करें. ऑथर एंड द page number, author का surname, proper page number should be there. Make sure all your in-text citations match the sources listed in the work cited. दोनों के बीच में कोई mismatch नहीं होना चाहिए. Anyone reading your work should be able to easily locate the original source of any material you use in your own work. बहुत बार होते हैं ना, DOI, we have digital object identifier. उस पे जैसे click करते हैं, you get hold of the original article. आपने सिर्फ एक पैराग्राफ लिया, but I want to read more of that article. And since you have put as a part of reference, I can easily get hold of that. आपका reference या citation कभी ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आपने आधा अधूरा लिखा and the person who is reading cannot locate that. So that is not a good sign of, that is not a correct way of citation. Third is the quote or quotation that we have done. I'll try to move this very fast. Quoting may be defined as borrowing text by copying another's work, word for word, and putting the copied content into your own text. The quotation requires citation of the original source. As we all know, we must refer the original source. The text produced is the exact length of the original text. We have already seen that and discussed in the previous slides also. Exact होता है, word to word होता है, double inverted comma के अंदर होता है. Now what happens? We must include the page number of the source from which you borrowed the author's original text. अगर आपने उनके किसी बुक से एक पैराग्राफ लिया है, the reader will not read the entire book. You must mention in the quotation the exact page number. आपने किस page number से उठाया? And you can introduce quotes with phrases like according to. उन्होंने ये बोला ना, एक particular author ने, एक particular researcher ने, एक particular scholar ने, तो according to, उनके अनुसार, Bob Jones, and then comma, and then you have to begin the double inverted quotes, that is see here. And then whatever he has said, word to word, or you can say Bob Jones stated. Stated matlab unhone jo bola as per word to word you are stating. So this should be there, but I just prefer avoid kiya kijiye quotation, direct usage of the same language in your research paper. It is 100% plagiarized. Pura plagiarism mein aa jayega. Take ideas, paraphrase, rephrase it, shorten it down, and refer it. Quoting as a source, I'll just skip this. What are the good sources? अगर आपको कहीं से कोई source लेना है जो आप अपने research paper में include करना चाहते हैं, you must have a very smart knowledge. Which are the good sources of knowledge and which are not very accurate sources of knowledge? So university presses से जो release होते हैं या फिर publish होते हैं research papers या books, उनके ऊपर you can totally rely. They are the much reliable source. Like two very much reliable sources, the Harvard and the Cambridge. We can also take Oxford also. Major publishing houses, Penguin, Random House, okay. Well-known organizations, United Nations, government website. कहीं से भी आपको अगर secondary source of data लेना है, please try to take it from the original website. जैसे इंडिया में if I want to take 2021 का what is the current like level of population, yeah, current level of urbanization in India, I cannot just go on internet and type and take it from somebody, some other sources. No, that is not a reliable. I'll go to Census of India website and I'll try to get 2021 census accordingly, which is still not published. It is just projected. What is the exact population of India? And it is assumed that 2021 census we are going to supersede China in terms of population. So people are speculating, like as we cannot just rely. So any authentic source should always be the government websites. NSSO, National Sample Survey Organization. If I have to take some data related with economic growth, I'll go to the website of CAS that are official, Central Account Statistics. Okay. Well-known newspapers, New York Times, totally reliable. Well-known media sources, BBC and CNN, much more. Magazines आप ले सकते हैं, but वो बहुत ज़्यादा renowned नहीं कहा जाता है. बहुत अच्छा important data मिला, you can refer it. Online journals, just the best. From there you have to take. So these are the good sources जहाँ से आप can take ideas, you can take data, but please cite them in the citation style. Non-reliable sources, ये भी ध्यान में रखना है आपको, because you are a flourishing researcher. आप बहुत अच्छे research करने वाले हैं future में, but I would never like कि कहीं पे भी you are like get caught of being plagiarized. या आपको पता ही नहीं था कि मुझे यहाँ से data नहीं लेना था. I was not aware. Wikipedia, no. Wikipedia is not at all a reliable source of information. वो कहीं से भी knowledge gather करके just put it down. It's just for your understanding. Even a layman person who is from non-academic background, अगर वो भी विकिपीडिया को खोल के बैठ जाएगा, उसको भी वही लैंग्वेज मिलेगा जो आपको मिलेगा. तो आप कभी भी सोर्स में विकिपीडिया नहीं दे सकते. It's not accepted in a research community and research world. Personal blogs, no. People, we all are free to write any blogs on the social media, but it's our own perception. It's not published somewhere या फिर कोई particular publication agency का demarcation नहीं मिला उसको. So personal blogs आप ले करके cannot form the base of your research and you cannot cite it. Not accepted. Non-credible newspapers, magazines and editorials. Like बहुत सारे ऐसे editorials होते हैं. The Hindu newspaper, if you take, it is famous for its editorials. वहाँ से if you are taking some ideas, definitely it can be taken into consideration. But non-credible newspapers which are not much into circulation, are not known for their editorials, they are not considered as a good source of information. Think about bias. बहुत ज़रूरी है. When you are taking the information, others' ideas, you do not have to move by biasness. Never. We researchers are always above biasness. When we are doing some research, we are never biased towards a community, towards a creed, caste, custom, religion, sex. No. Even if suppose if like some of you are women researchers, some of you are male researcher, and if I'm writing like a piece of research related with women health, it does not mean कि अगर कोई एक women researcher उसके ऊपर focus कर रही है तो वो males को बोले कि they are not the good part. No, you don't have to be biased. You have to take the good points of both the communities. This is very important. Or non-biasness is the what to say? It's the basis of creativity. It's the basis of innovation in the research world. Example. This is one example that I have taken, which is going to give a summarization of all the things that we have discussed. Like indirect quote agar hua, some researchers note that children are totally insensitive to their parents' shyness. So this is an author, Zimbardo, 1962 में इसने ऐसा कुछ बोला था. Direct quote इसका क्या होगा? Zimbardo notes that, which is a direct. अगर आप इसको direct within quotes के जैसे लेना चाहते हैं, you can take, but 100% plagiarize. इसको indirect quote करना है, this is the way. और इसको अगर paraphrasing या summarizing करना है, you can say some researchers have observed that children seem unaware that their parents are considered bashful. या फिर they're they have changed the word bashful. Instead of shyness, they have taken a synonym for that. So here are 3 cases जिसमें एक direct quote है, उसको अगर हम indirect form में लेना चाहें तो कैसे ले सकते हैं? Meaning same. और अगर उसको paraphrase करके उसका एक summary डालना चाहे तो कैसे कर सकते हैं? But one thing that you must adhere in all the 3 cases, the name of the author, which is Zimbardo, is must. आखिर कहना तो उन्हीं का है ना, ओरिजिनल आइडिया तो उन्हीं का है. आपने पैराफ्रेज किया, आपने समराइज किया या आपने इनडायरेक्ट स्पीच में लिखा, पैसिव वॉइस में लिखा, इट इज नॉट योर्स, आपका नहीं. So you have to provide the surname and the year, and in the original reference section आप उसको refer करेंगे. The person who is reading will just get an idea if this is the scenario in particular piece of world, किसी एक particular region में ये ऐसा scenario है जो researcher ने research किया. लेकिन इसका सिर्फ surname और year पता है. अगर मुझे इसके बारे में और पढ़ना हो, if that belongs to my field of investigation, I want to read the entire article. From where to get its reference? So I'll straight away go to the reference section. Clear? Now, yes, this is a very important portion. These are some of the renowned personalities of the world, and why I have taken a slide on them, because they are the biggest plagiarism issue in the world. I've just taken the top 5. This is what? This is a person originally इसने कोई idea conceive किया, और इसके idea का जो outer boundary है, it is there, and somebody else has taken the entire content और ये कैसे कर रहा है? This is very fine. We as a researcher, we do not have that scissor. हमारे पास scissor नहीं होता cut करने के लिए ideas. We have computer में control X. वहां से हम just control X. This is a more refined way of doing that. This person having a scissor-like thing, या फिर something from that you can carve out things. It's just a pictorial representation. Then how it is done in the modern present world. It has taken बाहर की boundary को छोड़ दिया इसने, क्योंकि नाम तो उसी का है, but अंदर के सारे कंटेंट को उठा के ये लेके जा रहा है और इसको फिर अपने नाम के ऊपर पैराफ्रेज करे, साइट करे, whatever, कुछ भी करे, आइडिया इसका नहीं. So here are the example of 5 people. The first is a Martin Luther King Jr. And what he has done, I have a dream speech scandal. That was a very famous scandal. I was not born at that time. You people were not born at that time. But when you go on internet and when you have just type the plagiarism scandal, their name will automatically come. He is accused of plagiarized dissertation. पूरा dissertation इसने plagiarize कर दिया and it got published in his name. Degree wasn't revoked though. इसको degree नहीं मिली because India में तो plagiarism का issue कब 2018 onwards it has like echoed in the academic world. उसके पहले people were doing it. They were not aware. But now it has become a mandate. If you have PhD students under your guidance या फिर MPhil students, जब वो अपना dissertation submit करेंगे ना, plagiarism report submit करना must है. Without उसके university आपके report को accept नहीं करती. University तो बाद में करती. As a supervisor हम chapters नहीं लेते. When the students give us the chapter for correction, we say along with chapter give the plagiarism for each chapter. I'm not going to correct it. क्योंकि ये इसी base level पे आपको सीखना बहुत जरूरी है. I don't want कि सारा काम आपने कर लिया और फिर पूरी थीसिस स्टार्टिंग से एंड तक आप बैठ के प्लेजरिज्म चेक कर रहे हो, उसको रिमूव कर रहे हो. नहीं, वेरी बेस, ये जो बेस आज हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं फॉर द फैकल्टीज, दिस वी डिस्कस विद आवर अंडरग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट इन सेमेस्टर 1 itself, बिकॉज वी नो कि ये बच्चे ग्रेजुएशन करने के बाद अगर रिसर्च के फील्ड में जा रहे हैं तो भी अच्छा. इफ दे आर नॉट गोइंग, इफ दे आर गोइंग फॉर सम सिविल सर्विस एग्जामिनेशन और सम गवर्नमेंट एग्जामिनेशन, एटलीस्ट wherever they are writing something, they must have that knack जो हमने उनको ग्रेजुएशन में सिखाया, कॉपी नहीं करना है. तो मार्टिन लूथर किंग ने एंटायरली पूरे डेजर्टेशन को कॉपी कर दिया, बट बिफोर ग्रांटिंग द डिग्री इट वाज फाउंड. So this is number 1 that I'm going to point for today. Second is the Saddam Hussein. We all know Iraq case. So he was accused by Condoleezza Rice, and he plagiarized almost 12,200 pages declaration. डिक्लेरेशन जो उसने यूनाइटेड नेशंस के डेवलप किए थे उसमें से उन्होंने कॉपी करके और अपने इराक के डिक्लेरेशन के अकॉर्डिंग उसको मॉडिफाई किया, बट ही वाज एक्यूज्ड. सो ही यूज्ड यूएन's रिपोर्ट ऑन इराक. Okay, the third is, and this was done in 2003. I'm not taking it year wise, I'm just taking it scandal wise, its level of severity. The third was Richard Owen in 1846. Just imagine 1846 almost कितना हो गया, 170 years ago, almost 170 साल पहले, तभी भी ये इशू था. So Darwin's greatest enemy, डार्विन ने कौन सी थियरी दी थी? सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट. जो ज्यादा सर्वाइव वही करेगा जो फिट है, मतलब जो स्ट्रॉन्ग है वो वीक के ऊपर प्रेशर क्रिएट करता है या फिर उसको खा जाता है खुद को जिंदा रखने के लिए. तो सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट. Now Darwin's greatest enemy was Richard Owen. He stole discovery of dinosaur bones. How dinosaur came into existence और वापस उसका रेप्लिका बनाना हो तो उसके bones को कैसे हम यूज करते हैं. So plagiarism does not only mean कि सिर्फ academic writing में plagiarism होता है, नहीं. It also involves the academic thought process, the academic understanding. मोस्टली इन द फील्ड ऑफ साइंस. साइंस में क्या होता है, वी कम अप विद सम डिस्कवरीज. हम उसको पहले लाइक ट्रायल स्टेज में उसको ट्राई करते हैं. अगर ट्रायल स्टेज में ही किसी को पता चल गया और somebody else has stolen your ideas, आपके डिस्कवरी के पहले उसने वो डिस्कवरी करके और उसको पब्लिश कर दिया. So same thing happened. He stole discovery of dinosaur bones that Darwin was working on, and he published in his name, which later was discovered, and he was accused of being a plagiarist. Number 3rd in the world. Voted out Zoological Society of India. There is a people belonging from the zoology department. There is a society for them. और वहां से इसको वोट आउट कर दिया गया because there was a very high level of किसी की पूरी नेटिव आइडिया को इसने कॉपी करके अपने नाम पे पब्लिश कर दिया. That I have done this. Now Tony Blair, we all know that he was the Georgie dossier document. इसको इसने plagiarize किया था and mostly copied from Al-Marshi's thesis. Anything, कहीं से भी आप ले सकते हैं. आप थीसिस से ले सकते हैं, आप राइटिंग से ले सकते हैं, आप अंडरस्टैंडिंग ले सकते हैं, आप आइडियाज ले सकते हैं, आप डिस्कवरीज ले सकते हैं. कुछ भी जो आपका अपना नहीं है और आपने उसको लेके अगर अपने तक रखा, प्लेजरिज्म नहीं है, लेकिन आपने उसको अपने नाम पे प्रोड्यूस कर दिया, दैट इज प्लेजरिज्म. And the 4th that I've taken for 1922 is T.S. Eliot. He plagiarized the wasteland and claimed mature poet's style. वहां पे उस वो लिखा हुआ था. He is mostly a writer, a poet. Poet may be, writer may be. When we are reading somebody's writing, yeah, poet like poem, maybe there is a specific message which is being revoked. So somebody else has already done that. You are just copying it. थोड़ा सा word change किया और अपने नाम पे publish किया. That is the plagiarism. So I hope आप में से कोई भी researcher कभी भी इस field के पास कभी भी ऐसा ना आए, and all of you are able to do a very fantastic and good research. Plagiarism बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए. 10% के नीचे भी नहीं. I require all of you make it less than 3%. So concluding remarks में what I can say in conclusion, academic and professional integrity. It plays a very vital role to improve academic status, focusing on good research and respecting the source through references that we have already done. And it will, what it will do, it will ultimately encourage the original ideas to come out. आपके माइंड में जो भी ओरिजिनल आइडियाज हैं वो कभी निकल के आ पाएगा. अगर आप कॉपी करेंगे, even if you are very very creative, you are not getting avenues to express it. आपको मौका ही नहीं मिल रहा है ना. आप इंटरनेट पे गए, दूसरे का आइडिया देखा, उसको उठा के कॉपी पेस्ट कर दिया. आइडिया दिखा, क्लोज इट, आगे मत बढ़िए. Try to think in your own word, and I'm sure all of us are unique in our own ways. God has created us. हमारे जैसा दूसरा इस पूरे वर्ल्ड में नहीं. जब चेहरे से नहीं है तो इंटेलेक्चुअल कैपेसिटी से भी नहीं होगा. All of us have some uniquenesses in us. Please try to get hold of it. पहचानिए आपके अंदर वो क्या यूनिकनेस है. और सिंस हम सब इस एकेडमिक वर्ल्ड को हमने चॉइस किया है, फॉर मी टीचिंग इज अ प्रोफेशन बाय चॉइस एंड नॉट बाय प्रोफेशन के तौर पे नहीं है टीचिंग. इट इज माय चॉइस, इट इज माय पैशन. And when it is my passion, definitely I have to do justice to my passion. सब लोग कर सकते हैं, बस plagiarism stop करते हैं. I'm not telling that you are plagiarizing, but even if you are unknowingly committing, from today's discussion कुछ तो पता चल गया होगा ना आपको what you are doing and what you must not do. So hence avoiding plagiarism is important. We must aim at creativity, and this creativity, this creation is far above plagiarism. See, same stand है. हम चाहे तो plagiarism पे आ सकते हैं, चाहे तो थोड़ा ऊपर उठेंगे, थोड़ा ही difference है. We'll become creative. At the moment we are above plagiarism, we are creative, will create a space for us, and the world will know us. So in concluding remarks, it's important to properly concede to the contributors and information made by other people. It shows respect for their work. हम respect कर रहे हैं ना उनके work को, तभी तो उनका work हमें अच्छा लगा, हमने उसको अपने ideas में present किया. Most importantly, you are giving credit where credit is due. आप ऐसे ही credit नहीं दे रहे, वो deserve करते हैं इस credit, इसलिए आप credit दे रहे. आप इसलिए credit नहीं दे रहे कि अगर आप नहीं देंगे तो आप academic theft में फंस जाएंगे. तभी इस notion पे आप किसी को credit मत दो. इस नोशन पे क्रेडिट दीजिए कि वो पर्टिकुलर पर्सन उसको डिजर्व करता है, उसने कुछ नया काम किया है और उसके आइडियाज में आप कुछ मॉडिफिकेशन करके यू कैन आल्सो डू समथिंग न्यू. So give credit to the person because the person deserves it. And we must acknowledge them, we must cite them, we must source them, we must credit them, and we must respect them. बिल्कुल respect करना है हमें उनको. So what we have to do? Read, think, and then the third and most important thing, be creative. So with this, thank you so much. Thank you. One thing also that I would like to advocate, ये पूरा session issues of plagiarism पे हमने आज खत्म किया है. So finally, after giving a pause to my lecture with today's discussion, I expect, and I'm expecting this, expect करना भी चाहिए मुझे, that most of us from now onwards will engage ourselves in some really meaningful and quality research. And that also with a clear understanding of the nature, the form, the significance, and the relevance of plagiarism, and our want for having a lower scale of plagiarism in the report and research writing. So all the very best to all of you present in today's session for a very fantastic and plagiarism-free academic writing. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm very much obliged and overwhelmed with today's session. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. Thank you, Dr. Jugnu. Thank you, Professor Tanya.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable, knowledgeable, and enriching session. And as we can see, chat box is flooded with the appreciation messages. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I hope that all the participants are benefited by this vast information, very deep information. And now it's the time for the question answer round. And I request all the participants to please write your questions in the chat box if you have any queries, or you can simply raise your hand. We'll unmute you. I can see one or two questions. Yeah, someone has said that.
Ma'am, I think Richa is the person who want to ask the question. Yes, Richa. You can unmute yourself.
Hello, good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Sir, I want to know that if we credit, I want to ask some questions to ma'am if she's here or leave.
Yes, Richa, please go ahead. I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And you also open your video?
Yeah, sir.
Before asking question, you open your video.
Yes, sir. Hello, good morning, ma'am. Very nice session. Thank you so much for giving us your views and a valuable session on plagiarism, which is the main issue on research.
Thank you, Richa. Please go ahead with your question.
Ma'am, actually, I want to ask that when we write a research paper on the other chapter, so if we give credit to the author in references, so we avoid plagiarism.
See, ऐसा नहीं है कि if you are giving credit to the author और cite कर रहे हैं और reference कर रहे हैं तो पूरा research paper आपका उसी पे based
No, not an.
What I am trying to say, definitely that is one of the way to avoid or to reduce the plagiarism. If you are taking somebody else's idea, आप उसके idea को पहला तो word to word नहीं लेंगे क्योंकि quotation पे 100% plagiarize आ जाता है. Ideas लीजिए, paraphrase करिए और एंड में जा करके उनको इन टेक्स्ट साइट भी करिए, एंड में उनका रेफरेंस भी दीजिए, सिर्फ आइडियाज लीजिए, शॉर्टन करिए और कोशिश करिए ये चीजें आप जितना कम कर सके और अपने आइडियाज को रिप्रेजेंट करिए. लेवल कम हो जाता है. तभी हमने कुछ परसेंटेज रिजर्व रखा है प्लेगरिज्म के लिए जो एक्सेप्टेबल है, बिलो 10%, एंड प्लीज कम्स एज अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट.
ओके,
रिड्यूस इट.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम.
Any other question?
Sir, एक chat box में मैंने एक question देखा था. The person was writing that if we translate any academic work in any other language with mentioning the original author, will it come under plagiarism?
Definitely, it will come as a part. हाँ, it will come as a part of plagiarism. Anything which is not native to you, आपके ओन आइडियाज नहीं है, वो प्लेगरिज्म ही है. लेकिन प्लेगरिज्म को रिड्यूस करने का, रिमूव करने का ऑप्शन होता है किसी भी लैंग्वेज में. इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में लिखा हुआ है, मुझे आइडिया बहुत अच्छा लगा, मैंने अपने हिंदी रिसर्च पेपर में एग्जैक्टली सब चीज जस्ट कॉपीड आउट. आप कंप्यूटर में आजकल ऑप्शन होता है ना ट्रांसलेट का, that most of the people, we also at the time of writing the question paper for university, हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों में देना होता है. बहुत सारे वर्ड्स ऐसे होते हैं ना जो इंग्लिश में भी पता होता है बट एग्जैक्ट हिंदी नहीं आता है. So what we do, we take the like entire line और उसको हम डालते हैं, वो इंग्लिश में तुरंत आ जाता है. So this is 100% plagiarism, क्योंकि आपने सेम चीज लेके दूसरे लैंग्वेज में डाल दिया. फिर तो सब लोग करेंगे, हिंदी से इंग्लिश, इंग्लिश से मराठी. You have to again focus on paraphrasing. आइडिया लीजिए और आइडिया से अपने नए आइडियाज क्रिएट करिए. लेकिन आपने जो अपने नए आइडियाज क्रिएट किए उसका बेसिस क्या है वो तो आपको बताना पड़ेगा. दैट यू हैव टू टेल. सो फॉर दैट यू हैव टू गिव द in-text citation and the reference. But ideas should be something new of your own based on the original ideas that have been floated and conceived. That is a plagiarism. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
श्वेता मैम, एक क्वेश्चन और था जो मैंने नोट किया था कि if we taken sentences provided by Google, not research paper, is it considered as plagiarism? किसी ने ये क्वेश्चन पूछा है.
हाँ, एक स्लाइड मेरा इस पे फोकस कर रहा था कि Google is not an authentic source. जहां से आप चीजें लेके जो गुड सोर्सेज और बैड सोर्सेज में मैंने दिया था सबसे पहले विकिपीडिया, क्योंकि जब हम गूगल पे टाइप करते हैं सबसे पहले जो साइट ओपन होता है वो विकिपीडिया. सबसे ज्यादा लोग उसको प्रेफर करते हैं ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द प्रेफरेंस या फिर रीडेबिलिटी. गूगल उसको लिस्ट डाउन करता है. गूगल से आप कोई भी वर्ड नहीं ले सकते. सपोज इफ यू आर लाइकिंग वन पर्टिकुलर लाइन गूगल में, ट्राई टू गेट उसके नीचे उसका थोड़ा सा रेफरेंस या सोर्स मेंशन होता है. थोड़ा सा आप रिफाइंड करिए. देयर इज एन एडवांस सर्च आल्सो. आई वांट टू टेल ऑल ऑफ यू प्रेजेंट टुडे कि व्हेन वी आर यूजिंग गूगल, आप गूगल में जाके जिस टाइप नहीं करो, देयर इज एन ऑप्शन अवेलेबल डाउन एडवांस सर्च. उस एडवांस सर्च में जिस टॉपिक पे आप सर्च करना चाहते हैं उसका थोड़ा भी जो ऑथेंटिकेटेड या रेफरेंस या साइटेड चीज है वो उसी को लिस्ट डाउन करेगा. So as a researcher, we never go to Google and do that. We always prefer advanced search. और वहां से whatever thing you are getting, it will have a proper citation. उस citation पे click करो, पूरे article खुल जाएगी. Read it from there, take points from there, give them due credit. Credit तो देना है आपने.
Yes.
That is must.
Very true.
Yeah. Okay. I think, sir, can we end this question answer round?
Just last question, ma'am. Given if we mention the original work under the references, will it come under plagiarism?
ओरिजिनल वर्क इट डिपेंड्स कि उस ओरिजिनल वर्क में से आपने पूरे वर्क को कॉपी कर लिया है या उसके सारे मेन आइडियाज को आपने लेके और आपका कुछ योर समथिंग एडिशन इज नॉट टू देयर. सी आई हैव बीन टेलिंग, taking ideas from others published sources is something that I am not advocating कि आप मत करो. Take only ideas, but based on those ideas, you should have your own analysis. आपका अगर अपना analysis उस published work पे based है, उससे ideas है और उसको आपने refer किया है reference section में in text में, then the level of plagiarism goes down. And even if it is highlighted in red, your publisher, your editor will just forget about it because it will solely be based on your particular analysis. But if you have taken everything from there and there is no analysis of your own, so yes, that is a plagiarism.
And
that is definitely.
Jugnu ma'am, one question is from Richa. Richa, you can unmute yourself.
सर आई वांट टू आस्क टू मैम दैट जब भी हम मतलब कोई भी रिसर्च पेपर या लिखते हैं, हम अपने किसी भी शोध गंगा
Richa, before asking the question, open your video.
सर एक्चुअली मैम ड्राइविंग राइट नाउ. ओके.
या
सर एक्चुअली मैम जब भी हम कोई रिसर्च पेपर लिखते हैं तो बेसिकली हमारे सामने इशू आता है कि हम जब उसको चेक करते हैं तो हम अपने ओरिजिनल आइडियाज को ही शेयर करते हैं, बट कहीं से हम अगर कुछ थोड़ा भी कंटेंट लेते हैं तो हम उनको जो प्लेगरिज्म टूल्स हैं हमारे उन पर चेकआउट करते हैं जो गूगल पर अवेलेबल है, तो उसमें हमारा जो प्लेगरिज्म है वो प्रॉपर शो नहीं होता. लेकिन जब हम कहीं रिसर्च पेपर को फॉरवर्ड करते हैं तो उसमें कुछ और प्लेगरिज्म आता है, तो वो क्लियर ही नहीं होता कि हम कहाँ चेक करें उसको, जो हमें पता चले कि एक्चुअल वो प्लेगरिज्म क्या है, कितनी है हमारे रिसर्च पेपर की.
रिचा, मैं इस डाउट को क्लियर करती हूँ आपके, ये बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है और बहुत सारे रिसर्चर इस प्रॉब्लम को फेस करते हैं। मोस्टली एज अ रिसर्चर हमने किसी पेपर को लिखा, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, जहां पे नहीं समझ में आए प्लीज आस्क मी,
ओके मैम,
और पूरा एंड तक क्लियर हो गया, फिर हमें उसको प्लेगरिज्म चेक करना। आप कहाँ करते हो? मोस्ट ऑफ द रिसर्चर गूगल पे जाते हैं और गूगल पे टाइप करते हैं प्लेगरिज्म चेकर।
हाँ,
वहाँ पे ग्रामरली एंड देयर आर अ नंबर ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर विच इज अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट। एम आई क्लियर? फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट अवेलेबल होते हैं, लोग सबसे पहले जाते हैं, पैसा नहीं लगेगा यहाँ पे। But they don't understand, just by saving a penny of money, they are making their article public. आप क्या करते हैं वहां पे एक लिमिटेशन होता है। If your article is for 5,000 words, वो 5,000 एक साथ अलाउ नहीं करते, जो अनपेड होता है। It will ask only 1,000 words. It will ask only first 1,000 words. आपने जैसे पहला 1,000 word दिया, क्लियर, पहला 1,000 word आप यूजुअली कहाँ से लेंगे? योर नेम एंड योर एब्स्ट्रैक्ट एंड योर इंट्रोडक्शन का पोर्शन, या फिर नेचर ऑफ प्रॉब्लम, यही आता है स्टार्टिंग का 1,000 वर्ड्स में। उसके बेसिस पे वो आपको एक प्लेगरिज्म दिखाया। जैसे आपने ये सारे अपने रिसर्च पेपर का पार्ट वहां पे डाला, मेक श्योर गूगल कीप्स अ कॉपी ऑफ दैट, ठीक है? एंड प्लीज नेवर डू दैट, प्लीज नेवर डू दैट। आजकल जो मैक्सिमम सॉर्ट ऑफ बिजनेस जो चल रहा है, दैट हैज बीन कम इनटू न्यूज़पेपर, कि आपके पीएचडी रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स हैं, उनको करने की जरूरत नहीं, बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज में होता है। कम टू अस, टेल अस द टॉपिक, वी विल प्रोवाइड यू द थीसिस। वो थीसिस कहाँ से लिखते हैं? डू यू थिंक दे हैव दोस लाइक मार्वेलस माइंड? अगर वो मार्वेलस माइंड होते तो वो अपने पेपर नहीं पब्लिश कर लिए होते। So they gather all these information from researcher like you and me and others, जो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट होने के कारण इसको इंटरनेट पे जाके और सबमिट कर देते हैं। एंड वी आर गेटिंग, सपोज परसेंटेज आया 10, वी आर वेरी हैप्पी, 10% आया, चलो ठीक है। नेक्स्ट 1,000 हमने फिर दे दिया। अब नेक्स्ट 1,000 क्या है? हमारा लिटरेचर रिव्यू पोर्शन। और लिटरेचर रिव्यू वो पोर्शन है जो हमारा नहीं है। वी हैव टेकन द आइडियाज फ्रॉम अदर्स, वी हैव कन्वर्टेड इनटू पैसिव वॉइस, और हमने इन टेक्स्ट साइटेशन भी दिया। वो नेक्स्ट 1,000 वर्ड विल शो यू 90% प्लेगरिज्म, क्योंकि वो आइडिया तो आपका नहीं है। सो इट इज नॉट गिविंग यू अ फेयर नॉलेज अबाउट द एंटायर रिसर्च पेपर। वो बिट्स एंड पीसेस में दे रहा है, जिससे रिसर्चर कंफ्यूज होता है। पहली गलती। दूसरी गलती, आपने अपने आर्टिकल के थोड़े थोड़े पोर्शंस इंटरनेट को दे दिए, वो उसकी एक कॉपी बना के रख लेता है, और अगर आप नेक्स्ट टाइम उसको फिर से देंगे, वो आपका लेवल ऑफ प्लेगरिज्म हाई कर देगा, क्योंकि वो तो उसके डेटाबेस में ऑलरेडी सेव्ड हो गया। सो योर ओन वर्क विच इज नॉट पब्लिश्ड, पहले उसको प्लेगरिज्म कम दिखेगा, फिर उसका प्लेगरिज्म ज्यादा दिखेगा। और यही जब आप किसी पब्लिकेशन एजेंसी के पास भेजते हैं, तो वहां पे डिफरेंट आएगा, वहां पे वो लेवल ऑफ प्लेगरिज्म दिखाएगा जो आपको इन सॉफ्टवेयर्स नहीं दिखाते। सो व्हाट इज माय सजेशन टू ऑल द एकेडमिक पीपल, ऑल द रिसर्चर्स, गूगल पे जाके फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट प्लेगरिज्म सॉफ्टवेयर पे प्लीज अपने हार्ड कोर मेहनत को मत डालें, नेवर। जिस भी इंस्टीट्यूट में आप काम करते हैं, वहां पर लाइब्रेरी सिस्टम होगा, और एवरी लाइब्रेरी सिस्टम में नाउ इट हैज बिकम अ मैंडेट कि प्लेगरिज्म सॉफ्टवेयर इज अ मस्ट। जहां पे भी रिसर्चेस होते हैं, आप वहां पे जाके चेक करें, दैट इज ऑथेंटिक। लाइक इफ आई एम राइटिंग अ रिसर्च पेपर, आई गो टू माई कॉलेज लाइब्रेरी, आई गिव इट इन अ पीडीएफ फॉर्म, एंड आई एम बीन आस्क्ड कि मैम अपना नाम जहां लिखा है उसको हटा दीजिए, क्योंकि अगर आपने 100 आर्टिकल लिखा है, हम उसको अगर प्लेगरिज्म में डालेंगे तो आपके नाम को ही प्लेगराइज कर देगा, क्योंकि इट इज रिपीटेड नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स ऑन द इंटरनेट। वो हटा दीजिए। फ्रॉम एब्स्ट्रैक्ट अप टिल कंक्लूजन गिव अस, डोंट गिव अस रेफरेंसेस, क्योंकि रेफरेंसेस तो पूरा प्लेगरिज्म आएगा, वो तो दूसरे का काम जो आप रेफर कर रहे हैं। एंड देन सपोज इफ आई एम गिविंग, और अगर मेरा प्लेगरिज्म 12% आया, स्टिल आई एम नॉट सैटिस्फाइड, मुझे पता चल गया कहां कहां पे वो रेड मार्क आ रहा है, आई एम गोइंग टू पैराफ्रेज इट। मैंने पैराफ्रेज करके दोबारा अपने ही कॉलेज में, अपने ही लाइब्रेरी में दिया। सो व्हाट आई विल डू, अगर मैंने उस चीज को दोबारा दिया, इस बार मेरा प्लेगरिज्म 12% बस के 24% आएगा। व्हाई? बिकॉज वो मेरे लाइब्रेरी के डेटाबेस में सेव हो चुका है, द फर्स्ट डॉक्यूमेंट। तो व्हाट आई रिक्वेस्ट माय लाइब्रेरियन दैट सर प्लीज रिमूव माय अर्लियर वर्जन फ्रॉम द डेटाबेस, आप डेटाबेस से उसको हटाओ। तो जब कॉलेज का लाइब्रेरी उस डेटाबेस को सेव कर लेता है, तो जस्ट इमेजिन गूगल विच इज अ वास्ट सोर्स ऑफ डेटाबेस, पता नहीं आपके जैसे कितने सारे रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स ट्राई करते होंगे, उन सब का डेटाबेस सेव हो जाता है, और हर बार लेवल ऑफ प्लेगरिज्म वेरी करता है। एक ये एरर, और दूसरा एरर आपके डेटाबेस को वो रिजर्व कर लेता है और फ्यूचर में इसको मिसयूज कर सकते हैं। डोंट डू दैट। एंड टू मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एंड रिलायबल सोर्स ऑफ प्लेगरिज्म चेकर इज द टर्निटिन। प्लीज उस पर भरोसा करें। एंड वी हैव उरकुंड, दीज टू आर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट। ग्रामरली भी है, बट बहुत सारे हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी में सिर्फ इन 2 को ही प्रेफरेंस देते हैं। एंड वन मोर थिंग, व्हेनेवर यू आर चेकिंग प्लेजरिज्म, वो परसेंट के अलावा डेट भी मेंशन करता है कि किस डेट को आपने प्लेजरिज्म चेक किया है। There have been issues in many colleges that I know that people have applied for promotion. लोग प्रमोशन के लिए अप्लाई करें और अप्लाई करने के बाद उन्होंने अपने रिसर्च पेपर के साथ प्लेजरिज्म रिपोर्ट भी दिया, लेकिन वो डेट ऑफ पब्लिकेशन के बाद प्लेजरिज्म रिपोर्ट है, क्योंकि उनको पहले पता नहीं था ये चेक करना है। उन्होंने पब्लिश करा लिया और बाद में पता चला ये पेपर तो तभी एक्सेप्ट होगा जब इसका प्लेजरिज्म इज लेस देन 10%. सो सच पेपर्स आर नॉट कंसिडर्ड. आपका जो प्लेजरिज्म रिपोर्ट होना चाहिए वो आपके डेट ऑफ पब्लिकेशन के पहले का होना चाहिए, बिकॉज फर्स्ट पेज पे टर्निटिन उर्कुंड डेट ऑफ प्लेजरिज्म चेकिंग मेंशन करता है, एंड दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ध्यान रखिए इस चीज को. कभी इंटरनेट पे जाके प्लेजरिज्म चेक नहीं करिए, हमेशा किसी ऑथेंटिक सोर्स पे करिए. बिट्स एंड पीसेस में नहीं करेंगे, वो आपको एक कंसाइज इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं देगा. हर पोर्शन का अलग अलग आएगा ना, ओवरऑल नहीं देगा वो कभी भी. सो डोंट डू दिस. रिलाई ऑन योर इंस्टीट्यूट एंड सम like a reliable source of plagiarism checker. This is my advice and humble request to all of you.
I think we take the last question from
yes sir, please sir.
Dr. Prakash. Dr. Prakash, unmute yourself.
Good morning sir.
Morning.
Good morning ma'am. Madam, मैं यही इशू के लिए बात करना चाहता था. I am deputy librarian in यशवंतराव चव्हाण ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Yes sir.
रिसर्चर्स का यही प्रॉब्लम रहता है कि वो हर दिन कहीं पर चेक करके आते हैं और फिर लास्टली लाइब्रेरी में आते हैं, और उधर आने के बाद फिर वो प्लेगरिज्म कहीं तो भी चेक हुआ रहता है और वो निकालना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है.
बहुत मुश्किल, क्योंकि वो डेटाबेस में जा चुका ना.
हाँ, और फिर वो को ब्लेम करते हैं कि सर ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता, मैंने ऐसा कभी किया नहीं, मैंने कभी चेक नहीं किया, मेरे सहेली ने शायद चेक किया रहेगा.
Sir, this happens. That is why, like, without asking, I have focused on this important aspect. It happened with me. मैंने अपने कॉलेज की लाइब्रेरी में चेक कराया, plagiarism was 7%. I was so happy. But मैं चाहती तो 7% के बेसिस पे I could have sent my paper. But I have this habit of making it less than 3%. मैंने उसको वापस से कम किया, 2-3 लाइंस को पैराफ्रेज किया, और मैंने जब दोबारा चेक किया plagiarism instead of 7 it came to 15%. I was stunned. How is it possible? So the librarian said कि मैडम आपका तो ऑलरेडी डेटाबेस में है ना, आप रुक जाइए, ये वाला और पहले वाला मैं रिमूव करता हूँ और जो आपने नया भेजा मैं उसको करता हूँ, और नया उन्होंने किया तो 2% आया. So see, misleading आया. 15% and 2%. 15% देख के लोगों को लगेगा कि 10% के नीचे नहीं अगर मैं भेजूंगा तो ये एक्सेप्ट नहीं होगा, बट एक्चुअल में तो 2% है ना. सो प्लीज आस्क योर स्टूडेंट्स दैट आप जब मेरे पास प्लेजरिज्म चेक करने के लिए अपने रिसर्च पेपर्स लेके आए, प्लीज मेक इट ओरिजिनल. इसके पहले अगर आप कहीं भी चेक किए होंगे, विच आई एम नॉट अवेयर, तो डेफिनेटली इट वुड बी अ पार्ट ऑफ द डेटाबेस. और उसके बाद अगर मेरे पास आप आएंगे और बढ़ा हुआ प्लेजरिज्म आएगा, देन यू विल हेल्ड मी रिस्पॉन्सिबल. I have not done anything, but it's you who have already checked, and now you are coming to me. Come to me the first. सबसे पहले. और प्लीज अपने, बहुत सारे लोगों को नहीं पता है, वो गूगल पे जाते हैं, ग्रामरली पे जाते हैं, फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट डाल देते हैं, और ये उनका ओरिजिनल वर्क सेव हो रहा है, और इसी में से आइडियाज ले लेके सारे थीसिस, सारे पेपर्स बन रहे हैं. प्लीज डोंट डू दिस.
Because we are the coordinators of Urkund, so we are facing the problems with admin Urkund InflipNet. भाई साहब लास्ट स्टेज पे पेशेंट लेके आ रहे हो तो उसको कैसा ठीक करें?
Exactly, sir. This is a very correct and very apt issue that researchers are facing. And as a librarian, आपके ऊपर तो बहुत ज्यादा प्रेशर होगा, क्योंकि हम लाइब्रेरी में ही जाते हैं चेक कराने, वो सबसे ज्यादा ऑथेंटिक सोर्स माना जाता है. प्लीज उनको ये एडवाइस करें, इससे शायद आप प्रेशर भी कम हो जाएगा और बच्चे भी टेंशन फ्री हो जाएंगे. वो जब देखेंगे बाहर के सोर्स में कम आ रहा है, आपके यहाँ ज्यादा आ रहा है, तो लगेगा ऐसे कैसे हो गया, क्योंकि वो डेटाबेस में सेव हो गया सर. तो उनको प्लीज ये एडवाइस करें आप.
Jugnu ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. I think सबके जो queries हैं वो काफी हद तक solve हो गई हैं, and now हम अपने research papers की qualities को और ज्यादा improve कर सकते हैं. Thank you so much, ma'am.
जुगनू मैम, तब तो ये उम्मीद किया जा सकता है आज के सेशन के बाद कि जितने भी हमारे मेंबर्स हैं CTEF वाले, उन सबके पेपर्स बहुत अच्छे होंगे और स्कोपस इंडेक्स, वेब ऑफ साइंस में आने चाहिए.
Yes, ma'am.
तो यही रहेगी.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल मैम. Thank you so much. And moving further, now I would like to take the privilege of inviting our guest of honor, Professor Satyendra Gupta sir. President of Council of Teacher Professional Development and Dean School of Education, Galgotia University. I request sir to please deliver closing remarks for the today's session. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you can start.
Namaskar, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Shweta Rani ji. And thanks to Jugnu madam for conducting this session, and Tania ma'am and Dr. Sanjay ji and all members of the CTF and CTPD. Ma'am, before saying anything, I would like to ask 1-2 questions. Like you referred the Authenticate and Urkund, and I have got both of them. Urkund is also being suggested by the UGC, and it is has Urkund में एक problem है कि it saves your document when you go for the second time, then it gives the double page as you mentioned.
Exactly, sir.
In the Urkund, we have to first delete our original or previous version, then we can go for the, because Urkund is providing it in a free of cost. So this is the issue with the all free of cost softwares. But I would like to highlight here the Authenticate because I'm using it. So in the Authenticate, it has the provision of reducing the plagiarism by giving the option the some limit of the words. You can reduce the plagiarism by say the 9 words or 10 words, or you can also reduce the similarity by opting for the quotation. And third option, it has the provision of reducing the similarity by using excluding the references. So when we use all 3 options and then we bring down the similarity to less than 10, so is it acceptable, or by opening all 3 options then we should come to below the 10%?
Sir, in my opinion, definitely based on my experience I'm sharing with you, when I give my like research paper for plagiarism checking, I prefer I give it from the abstract portion up till the conclusion. Reference section usually I avoid, and this is also suggested by the librarian, because reference is that portion which either in APA or the MLA style it would remain be the same, और वो कहीं ना कहीं होगा इंटरनेट में,
Definitely.
तो वो पूरा आ जाता है, तो
मैक्सिमम उसी से आता है,
उसी से आता है. और अगर आप उसको अपने पेपर में रख के और प्लेजरिज्म चेक करते हैं, तो जब प्लेजरिज्म आता है वो बता देता है मोर देन 4% इस कलर का है, वो कलर कौन कौन से हैं. तो अगर वो रेफरेंस सेक्शन है, इट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज इन आवर माइंड कि दिस इज नॉट अ रियल प्लेजरिज्म. बट एज फार एज कोटेशन इज कंसर्न, डेफिनेटली तो ये इशू तब आएगा व्हेन द रिसर्चर दे आर नॉट अवेयर. अगर उनको ये पता है कि कोटेशन यूज करने से द एंटायर पैराग्राफ वुड बी 100% प्लेजराइज्ड, और इस चीज को पहले ही रिमूव कर दे, तो शायद उर्कुंड जो ऑप्शन देता है उसकी हमें जरूरत ही ना पड़े. वो हमें ऑप्शन की तब जरूरत पड़ती है व्हेन द रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स आर नॉट अवेयर. सो दैट इज व्हाई आई हैव फोकस्ड, आज हमने ये फोकस किया कि प्लेजरिज्म अवॉइड कैसे करें, रिड्यूस कैसे करें. और इन सारी बातों पे अगर हम ध्यान देंगे और रेफरेंस को नहीं ऐड करेंगे, तो जो रियल प्लेजरिज्म है वही आएगा जो आपने कॉपी किया है. जैसे कोटेशन वगैरह, अगर कोटेशन मैंने लिया, मुझे एग्जैक्ट लेना है, लेकिन 10 लाइन का है, मैंने 10 लाइन की जगह सिर्फ 2 लाइन ली और डैश 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 दे दिया, तो वो 2 लाइन ही तो आएगा ना प्लेजरिज्म में. बट मैंने इंटायर 10 लाइंस ले लिए, देन द लेवल ऑफ प्लेजरिज्म विल इंक्रीज. और अगर कोटेशन की जगह मैंने उसको समराइजेशन या पैराफ्रेज कर दिया, मीनिंग सेम है, so plagiarism is reduced 100%. So Urkund is providing this option. Why? Because it is recommended by the UGC. और UGC कह रही है कि Urkund से ही जो रिपोर्ट आएंगे, मैं उसी को ऑथेंटिकेट करके उसी के बेसिस पे आपके प्रमोशंस या आपका जो भी अपॉइंटमेंट्स है, मैं उस चीज को प्रेफरेंस लाइक आई एम गोइंग टू गिव. सो इट इज ऑल्सो प्रोवाइडिंग कि एक chaos ना क्रिएट हो रिसर्चर्स के दिमाग में कि इतना हाई लेवल ऑफ प्लेगरिज्म आ गया, हम कैसे रिमूव करें. सो दे आर कमिंग अप विद 3 सॉल्यूशंस कि आप या तो रेफरेंस हटा दीजिए, या तो आप जो कोटेशन है उसको कर दीजिए, या फिर जैसे आपने बोला वर्ड्स कम कर दीजिए. वर्ड्स कम, आई एम नॉट इन फेवर. वर्ड्स कम करने से अगर मीनिंग सेम रहता है देन गो फॉर इट. बट यूजुअली जो रिसर्चर समझते हैं कि 10 लाइन में हमने कोई चीज को एक्सप्लेन किया, वर्ड्स कम करना है, लास्ट के 3 लाइन हटा दो. नहीं, इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू रिमूव द प्लेजरिज्म. व्हाई? बिकॉज मीनिंग चेंज हो गया ना, पूरा द एसेंस खत्म हो गया. सो डेफिनेटली Pressy writing is a very good way of representing things in a shorter span. जितना कम आपका वर्ड होगा और विद इन टाइम फ्रेमवर्क, लाइक रिसर्च पेपर के लिए मैक्सिमम 5000 इज मैक्सिमम, 4000 to 5000 मैक्सिमम। वर्ड्स कम होंगे तो चांसेस कम होते हैं, लेकिन उतने कम वर्ड्स में थिंग्स शुड हैव बीन प्रॉपर्ली एक्सप्लेन्ड। सो सत्येंद्र सर, आई टोटली अग्री विथ यू, बट आई वुड सजेस्ट ये तीनों ऑप्शन की जरूरत हमें तब पड़ेगी जब हमने इसमें एरर किया हो। अगर हम इसको रिसर्च राइटिंग के फेज में ही ओवरकम कर लें तो हमें इन ऑप्शंस की जरूरत उरुकुंड में नहीं पड़ती है।
Thank you,
This is my viewpoint.
right, ma'am, because issues is that कि जैसे आजकल अब पहले तो 25% तक एक्सेप्टेबल था, नाउ ग्रेजुअली नॉट इज कमिंग, अभी आपने कोट भी किया है कि लेस देन 10% की डिमांड होने लगी है, क्योंकि नाउ पीपल आर अवेयर अबाउट द वेरियस सॉफ्टवेयर, सो पैराफ्रेजिंग, दैट्स व्हाई सो द नॉर्म्स आर bar is rising and the percentage of becoming lower. तो 10% के नीचे लाना है बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज तो है अपने आप में। और लेकिन दूसरा मैंने इसका एक इशू ये देखा है, वन थिंग आई कैन सजेस्ट हियर फॉर द आवर लिसनर्स कि द सेकंड ऑप्शन ऑफ रिड्यूसिंग द सिमिलरिटी रिपोर्ट इज यू यूज द स्मॉल सेंटेंसेस, you break your long sentence into small sentences, so then your similarity also goes down. लेकिन इसका मैंने ड्रॉबैक देखा है कि when we go for the paraphrasing or we try to reduce the plagiarism, then the sense of the sentence totally changed. There is no fluency in reading the text, especially जब हम थोड़ा सा मैंने भी देखा था क्योंकि हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी शेयर करती रहती है, so I was reading one of the article published in the Scopus Index Journal, but throughout this article मुझे कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया कोई आदमी कहना क्या चाह रहा है, कि just to avoid the similarity report सारे उसने ब्रेक कर करके छोटे छोटे सेंटेंस बना डाले और जिसका आपस में कहीं कोई सीक्वेंस भी नहीं बनता है। तो मुझे इसका ड्रॉबैक लगता है कि आप अपनी बात को एक फ्लो में नहीं कह पाते हैं, क्योंकि आपको हर बार अपने सेंटेंस को ब्रेक कर करके अपनी बात कहनी पड़ती है। तो एक चैलेंज है ये अपने आप में, लेकिन समय की मांग है कि यू शुड गिव द क्रेडिट, सो वी आर लर्निंग अबाउट इट। और जैसा मैम आपने सजेशन आप कह रही हैं, दैट्स व्हाई फ्रॉम द बीएड प्रोग्राम वी हैव स्टार्टेड दिस प्रैक्टिस, सो वी आर टीचिंग आवर स्टूडेंट्स इन द बीएड, एमएड और एज वेल एज द पीएचडी स्टूडेंट्स आल्सो लर्निंग अबाउट दिस टाइप ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर, सिमिलरिटी रिपोर्ट्स और देन द एथिक्स. So all thing now from the beginning, all students are required to learn about these things. So I think this session will aware our all learners, our all listeners about that, how and why we should avoid the similarities, how we can reduce the plagiarism. And now Urkund is available through the university UGC site also, and it is free of cost, so anyone can use it. In place of going on, as ma'am suggested, using the available sources which are free of cost on the Google or any internet source, better to go for the Urkund. It is an authentic software suggested by the UGC, so then it is a good practice of using such type of softwares. So that will also help us to learn about the similarities and how to reduce them. So I think ma'am, this session will help us to streamline our publication, and this is the one of the part which will help us to go for the quality publication in a regular journal publication, as well as for the our dissertation writing, our thesis writing, and even the writing for a chapter for any edited book. So because now everywhere they are asking for the similarity, and even they are checking at their own source the similarity. So I hope, Sanjay ji, this is a very good effort from the CTPD and the CTF, and bringing the all learners.
CTPD and SDRF.
SDRF is the one of the source here. SDRF, thank you, and I hope in the next 9 sessions which are remaining, so some new knowledge, new information we will come to know. And this is the big learning for the teachers, because we teachers, as ma'am suggested, we are the first person who tell the students to do all these things. So I hope in the future also we will learn more learnings, and will try to reduce the similarities, and that reduction will increase the quality of the production. So I hope we will try to produce the good quality and good impact. I hope in future we will also discuss about the impact factor, Sanjay ji?
Everything, sir.
Everything will be
Many more
covered
are
in
coming in
future.
the next sessions.
Because now this is a new demand from the publishers in the Google Scholars, H index, I index, impact factor. So I think in future we also learn about these keywords. What are their significance? How we should go for these the impact factors. Now days are gone when we talk about the 2 or 3 impact factor. Now people are working for 1100 impact factors.
Actually, sir,
जी
गोपाल सर ने प्रॉमिस किया काफी स्ट्रांगली, काफी अच्छे रिसोर्स पर्सन हमें फ्यूचर में मिलने वाले हैं। और ये अपने आप में बहुत ही डिफरेंट टाइप की एफडीपी रहेगी, स्पेसिफिकली फोकस उन एरियाज पे जहाँ गैप रह जाते हैं हमारे।
गोपाल सर अपने आप में स्ट्रांग रिसोर्स पर्सन और कौन होगा हमारे लिए।
और जुगनू मैम एक बार सभी पार्टिसिपेंट से रिक्वेस्ट कीजिए कि वीडियो ऑन कर लें, एक ग्रुप फोटो हो जाए, उसके बाद वोट ऑफ थैंक्स और फीडबैक फॉर्म शेयर करूंगा। और फीडबैक फॉर्म ही रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म होगा इस एफडीपी के लिए। जिन लोगों ने आज ज्वाइन किया है वही कंटिन्यू भी करेंगे फ्यूचर में। फिर
संजय जी, मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूँ
जी सर,
पिछली बार जो आपका एक और कार्यक्रम था तो उसमें समय की समस्या रही थी, व्यस्तता रहती है। आज भी रात के या कह लीजिए कि सुबह के 4 बजे हम लोगों ने विदा किया है। ताशकंद यूनिवर्सिटी से आए हुए थे, पिछले 1.5 महीने से वहाँ के प्रोफेसर्स हमारे साथ रह रहे थे। कुछ स्पेसिफिक प्रोग्राम था तो उन सब की विदाई हुई और समझिए आज 4 बजे सुबह में गए वो लोग, तब तक हम लोग सभी ऑक्यूपाइड थे। इसके बावजूद आज मैं सुबह से जब बैठा हूँ तो ये बड़ा ही रोचक विषय था और मैं थ्रू आउट कनेक्टेड रहा इस कार्यक्रम और तो ये बड़ा अच्छा लगा। और निश्चित रूप से हम आशा करते हैं, जैसा कि आज डॉक्टर श्वेता जी ने शुरुआत की है, एक रिसर्च के कोर एरिया पर जो सबसे अधिक प्रॉब्लमेटिक इश्यू है और उससे सभी को जूझना पड़ रहा है, तो बहुत अधिक इंसाइट में वृद्धि हुई है, अंतर्दृष्टि निश्चित रूप से बढ़ी है। और अगला जो सत्र होगा वो प्लान करिए और निश्चित रूप से देश के, मैं यह दोहरा देता हूं आपने जो कहा है कि देश के बेहतरीन जो लोग होंगे शिक्षा शास्त्र के, रिसर्च के, वो सब हमारे साथ होंगे अलग अलग सेशंस में। और निश्चित रूप से हम सब जितने भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं उनका एक आगे ज्ञानवर्धन होगा, एक अच्छा एनरिचिंग एक्सपीरियंस रहेगा।